get big numbers. Thousands to thousands. Millions to billions. Which kind election be this? Babala nonsense. Na democracy be that you. Na democracy be that you. Uti shall see democracy. Onguchi, oyibo tishi hosi. Oyibo for Europe. Oyibo teach us many things. Many of them things I don't sing about it. Me I no get it to copy Oyibo style. Let us think say Oyibo no pass me. When Shagari finish him elections, why them not tell him say he make mistake? Say this yo no be democracy. Oyibo them not tell army self that for England the army no fit take over. I come think about this democracy, democracy, crazy demonstration of grace, crazy demonstration. If it no be crazy, why for Africa? As time they go, things just they bad.
I can't hear anything.
Hello?
But more and more,
I can't hear anything.
poor man they cry, rich man they mess. Democracy, crazy demonstration of grace, crazy demonstration. If good to teacher teaches something and the student make mistake, teacher must talk so, but to Igbo not talk so. I support them, they support them, please don't say them teaching get meaning. Different meaning, different kinds of meaning. That is why I say that is the reason of my song. That is the conclude of my song.
Welcome, everybody.
Hi, guys.
Mic
You guys
check.
miss me?
Of course.
Oh, yeah. The way your face... your face is like, I don't know about that.
Of course,
Well,
we missed you.
Sure.
We missed your arguing with us.
Arguing?
Yes.
I do not argue. I discuss. You're arguing. Correct. But anyway.
Welcome to the Smiling Suffer podcast.
Hi, guys.
You have Corey 2.0 on the mic. And by my side, we have Yetunde, aka Yeti. You want to introduce yourselves?
I already said hi.
You know, you guys, in your words, we're streaming live.
Oh.
Yeah.
Hi, guys.
No, not on video. On the website. Well, we're video recording. Though.
I thought we always did. No?
Yeah, well, we always do, but I actually broadcasted it this time.
Okay, nice.
Like I put out the website, so
Hi,
1500radio.net, Saturdays 10 a.m. And on the left of Yeti, we have someone that's distracted with his phone,
Always distracted.
Do I need to introduce myself?
with his floral sweater,
Swag.
I actually like it.
Swag.
and his Migos style.
Swag.
Yeti, did you see that? You saw that?
Wait. Let them all know who's on the mic first of
Oh,
all.
gosh. Anyway.
You saw that clip, right?
Which clip?
The one Wale posted on.
It's your favorite boy.
The one.
The seventh letter of the alphabet. I had to count real quick.
Did you have to really?
Yeah.
That's what that was?
Yeah.
Wow. And who didn't go to school now?
G.
The one Wale
Of
posted
himself
on his Instagram.
on his
Swag.
And he was wearing his
Swag.
his
his
blouse.
floral
His blouse.
Swag.
This
showing us some cleavage, like
Swag.
some leavage or whatever you want to call it.
Swag.
The guy put a caption. He
The
said,
game
"I
is the
am
game."
The game is the game." Wait, so what does that mean?
What does that
It's the
explain?
game,
I was
it's
going
the
to
game,
ask
man.
you.
If you don't know, you don't know, bro. That's it.
The game is the
The
game.
game is the game.
Man,
Who
These
told you that
kids.
was cute?
his kids.
Showing off his movage and his...
Swag.
So today we also have a guest calling. I don't know if we call him
Not yet.
Yeah, we're gonna call him. We're gonna buzz him in a second. But right off the bat, man. Oh, by the way, do you guys know what song that was? It's a classic song, classic Fela song. Teacher no teach me nonsense.
Who you telling? Maybe Wale, right?
Yeah, that's a
Does it mean
that's
I'm
a
talking about
legend right
music?
there. That's the father of Afrobeat for those that don't know. But moving on though.
That's the guy jacking his song title for this podcast. I'm not paying no royalties.
I switched it around. His name of the song is Shuffling and Smiling.
Sure, all true.
The name of our podcast
Oh,
is
the
Smiling
Smiling
Sufferer.
Sufferer.
So it's
Okay.
different.
God did.
Ain't nobody suing me. Please don't sue me. So we're gonna get right into it, man. We're gonna start off with the Kanye mania.
I'm over it. I have nothing to say. I'm done.
So, but you guys,
R.I.P.
did you guys watch the whole thing?
No, I actually didn't. I didn't
Why
want
did
to.
you watch it?
That's the video.
Of
Yeah.
him and
In the White House, Kanye went.
I
Kanye-
saw
I've
a
made
clip. I didn't.
That
I
video
refuse.
made me just conclude one thing that I always thought. Kanye is not a genius outside of music.
Nope,
He's
not at
actually-
all.
He's actually pretty dumb.
Yeah, he doesn't read. He
And-
says he doesn't read.
And like, I mean, I don't mean like he's not
He's a-
educated, like he's not an illiterate, but he's not like he's not smart.
Yeah,
So,
he's
so,
not.
so, so,
Outside of music, that nigga dumb.
what made you?
I agree.
Think, so, what about his visit made you think he wasn't smart?
Dude, how you gonna tell me when the MAGA hat is like a superhero cape? To who?
to him.
To him.
Yes.
How is it a superhero cape?
Well, he
Because
feels
he feels
empowered.
empowered.
Look, have you you know a lot of times
Have
we
you-
tend to put people on a pedestal.
Yes,
that,
we do.
You know, and we can put them on a pedestal when it comes to music. Creatively, we can hear, it, but like doesn't mean it's like how. And I would always use soccer because that's my favorite. I always just say that I get disappointed when some players become pundits
Yeah.
because they say the most stupid thing like ever. They're like, dude, you're a great player.
So, are
but
you
how,
saying that? So, are you saying that because you don't like Trump, or are you
It's
just
not about
saying that?
love.
No,
Not just
no.
even the whole Trump thing. It's just the way he's been, even with the whole fashion thing when he was with Nike and the whole way he's always saying they don't want him to like.
Kanye-
He says a lot of things that don't make sense. Like
He's
he just
a
talks.
narcissist. That's what it is.
Like literally, if you sit down and listen to Kanye, you hear some things that you're thinking. It's like recently people have been calling out Kevin Gates for that because he says things that to him is like, wow, this is
Genius.
genius, but it's kind of dumb actually. Like, and that's Kanye. Like when you sit down and listen to him.
So let's
it's-
explore
it's-
some
it's
things
dumb.
he said. You
Okay,
know,
go on.
since so, and I have it's a whole lot of stuff.
God.
Apparently, they call it streams of consciousness.
Right.
And he's been doing this for a while. He's been doing it
Right.
at his concerts
Okay.
back in the
Right.
days.
Yeah, I
But
remember when he
apparently
came
this is a
on.
real
Remember
thing.
he was on Jimmy Kimmel at one point, and he just rambled on and on and on. I'm like, what is
And
this
I
dude
hate this
saying?
thing people try to paint. Like when he was on SNL, they're like, oh, they cut him off. Nah, nigga, SNL ended at 12. Man, that nigga knew he ended at 12. You're not special. Like, why should we?
Oh no, Kanye
keep-
is special.
But
though.
that's
Don't
the
you
thing.
know
Kanye,
that?
and that's what I'm saying. He's not like he's dumb, but like he's also smart. If that makes sense. Like he knew they were closing at 12, and
Yeah.
he knew that if I keep going on, they will cut me off,
Yeah.
and I have an advantage to come
Yeah.
out and say
They will
they
bully
don't want me to
me.
do this.
Yep,
Nigga,
yep,
fuck
yep.
out of here, man. You knew this thing. I'm sure they probably told you before you
Everybody
went
knows
on there.
it's SNL time format.
Yeah,
and everything
you
now.
know, but of course you're Kanye. You want to be bigger than everybody. But go on, Corey. Say what you're saying.
We're about to call in our guest caller right now. Give it a second here. He's on. Taiwo, you there?
Hi, Taiwo.
Can't hear.
Hello. Hello. Barely, but he's on somewhere. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, I am. On.
There you
Okay,
go.
great. Hi, Taiwo.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Hi, guys.
Taiwo is one of our. He's
Yeah,
one
how
of
you
our.
doing,
He's
Taiwo?
one of my boys from back home. He also happens to
He's
be.
my family, actually. family.
Yeah, cousins.
he-
Hi, cuz.
he's good
Hi,
people.
cuz.
He's good people. He's one of these Ife people too.
One of these. Excuse
Yeah.
you.
And he hails from well, he currently lives in. You're calling
Dublin.
from. We're calling him
From Dublin.
at Dublin, right?
Yeah, Dublin,
Dublin.
Ireland.
Yes. So
Wait, you have an accent now? Let me hear you speak. I mean,
Leave the guy.
Yeah.
Man.
no. I just want to hear him. It's
Come
been.
on.
Irish accent.
What did you say?
The guy we know
I have
here.
an Irish accent.
Oh, okay. Oh.
Apparently.
yo, did you watch the Conor McGregor fight?
Yeah, but no, we don't talk like Conor McGregor is like an exaggerated Irish accent.
He's a wild guy. He's a
It's
wild
the Irish
guy.
accent here. It's Irish accent here on The Simpsons. It's like the real. It's a parody accent. Like it's what they sell to you Americans.
Yo,
It's what
yo,
we sell to you when we charge you €7 for a pint of Guinness when you guys come over. That's
Oh,
what we sell to you. Yeah.
Nobody's charging me €7 for
Yeah.
It's like it's cringe.
Yeah.
No one talks like
but
that.
Tao, we're just talking about Kanye. So feel free to jump in whenever
Okay.
you can. But basically, we're gonna go down the list of the things that he said at the Trump White House visit.
Okay.
So let's start off with this. Okay, so Kanye gets there. It's a whole spectacle. You got cameras all over the place.
Which, hold on. I think Trump didn't know it was going to be this big. He
I
thought it was
didn't
just a
think so.
lunch,
I
a
didn't
little
think
minor
so.
lunch thing. And Kanye trumped Trump. Basically is what he did. I'm like, wait, what?
Yo, by the time Kanye was done, the look on Trump's face, even he was like, wait, what just happened? But we're
That's
gonna
a
go-
hard thing to do if you
I'm
can
telling
Trump.
you, he really did. But let's go down the list. So let's start off with, okay, so Trump starts the meeting. He's bragging about, things that's going on, the unemployment, black numbers, it's at its lowest, this and that. He even brought up Kim Kardashian and getting that lady out. And then
So, wait, sorry. What was the purpose of this whole thing in the first place?
I
What
think
the meeting
I
called?
think it was to just have a dialogue about things to do in terms of prison reform, the gang violence in Chicago. He also wanted to discuss other things about like bringing factories back.
But
So
is
I think
Kanye the right
Kanye-
person to talk to about that, though?
But Kanye, Kanye has the Yeezys, right? And
Okay.
he's trying to build factories in Chicago. So
Okay, but
I mean, it's not a matter of if he's the right person. He just wanted to have a dialogue with
okay,
him.
well, I
And
guess.
like Trump said, I think Trump just thought,
Want
one of my
attention,
guys
yeah,
would just come in here
from a
and-
celeb. Trump loves celebrities anyway.
We're
So
gonna kick it or whatever. I didn't think he was gonna get into a whole. So
I've
you
never
know,
seen Trump so uncomfortable.
uncomfortable,
actually.
right? He felt
Than
like
I
So-
did.
so Trump is talking, and then Kanye just goes right in, and he starts out by he brought up Larry Hoover.
oh god,
Larry Hoover was like a former gang
member, right.
Yeah, the Street Disciples, I think.
Yeah,
The
he
gang
was
leader.
huge.
Yeah.
He started like a huge gang, whatever. But I think he reformed at one point. By the time he got reformed, I don't know, something happened. I wanted to do research into it, but I was like, I can't keep going down all these trails. that
rabbit hole.
Kanye has left. But he used to be a gangster, and some people feel like he shouldn't be in jail anymore.
Oh, he's still in jail.
Yeah, he's still in jail. And he got 48. He got like lifetimes too,
Damn.
like multiple lifetimes.
I mean, if he's a gang member, he probably killed people and all that. but-
Exactly.
Perhaps.
Like prison is prison. Like I think.
Perhaps.
Yeah.
And then Kanye starts by bringing up Larry Hoover. Larry Hoover, he's he basically said he is Larry Hoover in an alternate universe. I didn't really understand that.
This guy
that's-
says a lot of things that make
Let me-
zero sense. Like,
No,
but
but-
in his
no,
mind,
but
and
here's
then
the
his
thing.
followers are like,
Here's the
yes,
thing, Wale.
say it. Can you?
But here's the thing, Wale. Here's the thing,
Well,
Wale.
it's over.
Explain what.
Here's the thing,
Explain
Wale.
it. Yes.
He said some things that were also very important.
Okay, but explain
Which I
what
feel
he
like-
means is Larry
Which I
Hoover.
feel like
in-
I'm not gonna explain everything. I'm
Okay,
not
go
the
on. Go on
Kanye
to the
whisperer.
next. Go on to the
You're
next.
not?
No.
Go on to the
Okay.
next
But
thing,
I
so-
will point out some of the good things that he did mention.
Okay.
So he goes on and he says, people expect you have to be a Democrat if you're black.
That's not true, but
No, a lot. I think
people do.
that-
I agree
think
with
that's
that.
very true to an extent.
And we've said on here too. I've said it on here
Yeah.
too that I don't even. Yes, we've agreed with
So
that.
some of the other things he mentioned, he said, welfare is the reason why a lot of blacks end up being Democrats. Basically saying, Democrats basically tell blacks, we'll give you more money for having more kids. And
That's
But
having more
such a-
kids and
let me
welfare.
ask you a
It's a
It's
question.
a very simple. It's a very
Let me ask you a
simplistic way
question.
of
Let me ask you
saying
a
it.
question. Obama didn't invite Kanye to the White House, right? I
he
feel
did it?
if it was reversed, that it was Obama sitting there and he was talking to Obama, he would be saying the same thing about Republicans.
I think so too.
That's how I feel about Kanye.
You know.
He's
can I
playing.
chip in for a
Yeah,
sec?
go on.
I was gonna say, like, the Kanye thing with Trump is based off the fact that Obama neglected.
Yes,
Yes.
Obama neglected him, and
I
that's why I'm
agree.
like, yeah, it's based on that.
100%.
Obama neglected
I
him.
got introduced to Obama through Kanye because they're both from Chicago. Kanye's mom was part of the political base in Chicago. He knew Obama at the normal level, like when Obama started off.
Yeah.
And I think all this is the fact that when Obama became president, Kanye thought, it would bring him along,
And he
beyond
did.
that. And I think
Yeah.
all of
But-
this,
Obama called him a jackass.
Kanye, anti-Obama.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it didn't really. Obama just dismissed. I think it felt that way. And the old Taylor Swift thing, I just think because the way Kanye reasons as well, he's like really, he's like a simpleton, really, real simple in the way he reasons. And I think this is all the old anti-Obama thing. Like, he knows Trump is anti-Obama, so he's like, I'm gonna roll with this guy.
Yeah.
And Trump is playing on that, obviously,
Yes.
and it's just perfect.
So he
That's
goes.
what I feel.
So he goes on. He says prison rates shot up in the 90s. That is true.
Right.
And
You
it
know,
sh-
but
and
see,
it shut
funny
up-
thing is,
and he shut up under Democratic rule too. Under
okay,
the Bill
but
Clinton
all these things
rule.
Kanye is saying is not new. He is not like groundbreaking information
Yeah,
that
but-
he's
I
giving
don't
us.
know.
But for
Go on,
you,
go on.
for you though,
For some
for
people,
you.
yeah. Like, I mean, I agree with the.
So,
everybody thinks because you're black, you should
and
be
then
Democrat.
and then this is where he started kind of going off because he goes off in these he meanders
Tangents.
into these tangents and,
That makes zero
and that's
sense.
when he started bringing up. He said, "I'm with her" campaign, the slogan for the Hillary campaign. He said it didn't make him feel, I guess, any male energy. That basically his why are you laughing? This is serious.
Go on.
He said basically, he grew up, under a single mom. His dad wasn't around. There was never really any male energy. That he said even his marriage right now with the Kardashians, it's a whole lot of
Girls.
woman energy.
Yeah.
That there really isn't really any male energy. But then Trump came along, right,
Okay.
with the MAGA hat, and he said the MAGA hat made him feel like a Superman.
Hold on. So you say there's no male energy. Did you see the clip of Kim talking about when he was whining about
Band-Aid.
Band-Aid.
I thought that was kind of cute.
Like a
That was
little
cute.
bit.
I thought that was kind of funny. Like
Band-Aid.
it wasn't.
And he was almost saying, like, what's the child's name? North or
Saint, the
Saint?
little boy.
That he was almost
Jealous
of
of
his own child. And you're here telling me, okay, but it's okay. Go on.
I know.
You're allowed to feel how you feel, I guess.
Hey, anyways, moving on. He said he also used like some slurs in the White House. People raised eyebrows
Oh,
at
he
that.
did?
He used like motherfucker. He said bullshit.
That's not a slur. That's curse words.
Sorry,
You're
Curse
allowed.
words,
Sorry,
curse
Oh, I
words,
thought you
yeah.
meant
Curse
like
word, yeah.
offensive
Yeah.
slur. Oh, okay.
Well,
okay.
but it was in front of the
And then
press.
what was that stuff was showing him on his phone?
Let me get to it.
With his password is
He says
00000, by the way.
one of the problems in Chicago, there are no fathers in the homes, which is true to an extent.
Okay.
He said he was trying to bring jobs to America, and he's trying to provide transition for mental health. That basically a lot of things affecting our mental health makes us do crazy things that puts us back into this trap door that is the 13th Amendment. He kind of, Tyro,
Yeah,
I think there's some background noise over there. We can hear you.
Yeah, no, cool.
So basically, he basically just made. He basically said the way we're treating mental health, and this is why I really want to bring this up because I feel like he was also trying to shine a light on
Mental
one of the
health.
problems
Okay.
within like our black communities. Basically, trying to say, a lot of kids, they're going through and this is how I interpreted it. They're going through all sorts of trauma.
Yeah,
in the hood.
definitely. Yeah.
Which
There's statistics that shows that black people have PTSD.
Yes.
That's a known. I'm not known, but it's a proven thing, and
And-
people don't pay attention to it.
and what happens is
I think we should
because
say everybody has PTSD.
and I think
It's not just a black thing, but
No,
the
no,
black
no, no, no.
community,
There's a
Africans
higher
included,
rate.
does not
No.
believe in it.
There's a higher rate of PTSD in the black community because of the trauma that we go through every day, just everyday living, running from the cops, being like, you know what I mean? All those things
I understand.
give black people a higher rate of PTSD than the other community. That's all that is.
Okay, because the way I see it is, I feel like every community has.
I mean, of course, everyone has their mental issues,
but like
definitely.
black
but black people don't talk
including
about.
Africans, like in Nigeria, for instance, there's always
yeah.
spiritual problems.
Yep.
Is somebody in your village is looking
That's
for
doing
you,
you
so
and all that, right.
yeah, rather than treating. So I agree with
that's
that.
part of why I have Taiwo here because we're going to talk a little bit more about that.
Okay.
But basically he's saying what ends up happening is we're not treating these kids and they end up doing dumb shit.
Yeah.
And they end
That's
up
the system
in this
that we
trap.
live in,
That's
right.
what I'm saying. Like he
There's
brought up some things.
But
How did they say it though?
That's
'Cause you're
exactly
giving
look
me the-
the way. And I'll tell you how he said it.
The
I'll tell you how
version,
he said
yeah.
it. He said a lot of things affecting our mental health that makes us do crazy things that puts us back into the trap door. That's the 13th. I mean, like see what I'm saying? Like
13th Amendment, okay, meaning slavery.
meaning jail. When he brings up 13th Amendment, he's talking about the
jail.
part of the 13th Amendment that said slavery is okay as long as
You're jailed.
you're in
Yeah,
jail.
yeah.
And that was what he was alluding. He was trying to tie everything together, and I think that's why sometimes I feel like Kanye really isn't the best messenger for some of these things. But we also
You know
have
what
to-
the problem is? He doesn't sit to really think about it and digest it and try and formulate
because he
an
thinks
actual.
Kanye, whatever I
He
You
say
know what I
is
mean?
just
Like,
thinks
if you
conceptually.
have good ideas, okay, but sit down and talk. You know what I mean? Talk it through with other people that are smart. You know what I mean? And come up with a good idea,
No, but he's
like a
Kanye,
good
and
thing.
that's what I'm saying. Sometimes he sounds so dumb when he's talking.
Like, come
So-
on.
Go
I
on,
feel
go
I'm
on.
he
so-
goes on, and then he says we don't need sentences, we need pardons. That's like prison reform. He goes on and he says that is when he started getting into the whole narcissistic thing. He had a 98th percentile IQ test when he was
Kanye?
when he was younger. Apparently his doctor said he wasn't bipolar, that he had sleep deprivation.
That's
that
not true,
that maybe he might have been misdiagnosed.
Right.
He
Back
kinda
then.
lost
How
me
long
there.
ago was that?
He didn't mention again
Okay.
he speaks very conceptually, and then at some point he wanted to show like some concepts, like there's an airplane or something, he's meeting with a lot of these businessmen, some kind of plane that Apple is supposed to be building, and and that's when he goes into his phone and he types in his passcode.
Which is 00000 6 zeros.
Oh yay,
Go on.
yeah, it's something else.
Do you know that I almost feel like I got changed that password to 6 zeros before he got
I agree. I just thought about that. Like
feel
just
like
for
it.
the
I
You wanted
can't
to
for
get
put it,
camera.
into
I can't put it because we're talking about it.
Yeah.
I can't put it past him. But go on.
He said, and that he was trying to show the president of this new plane that he wants to change the Air Force One, and that's when he started talking about, the president. He's our president. He needs to be the flyest, the baddest, the best, and that's where he talked about SNL a little bit, like the way we always come.
He
at
brought up
Trump.
SNL too.
Yeah, he did. He said, and that's why he brought up his speech at the SNL that we're always coming at Trump, where we're really supposed to be like propping him up, which I disagree with. I
So
feel
when
like
they were coming
we
at
need to hold
Obama,
him
did he come out to
accountable.
say
I mean,
that?
where was he when they were?
I feel like we need to
Yeah,
hold
man.
Trump accountable, but I do feel like there is some truth to it in the sense that there seems to be this piling on Trump.
On everybody, this guy. Obama caught flack
Right.
for that when he
Thank
first got into
you.
office.
What?
Yeah, he
when he
did.
first,
Obama-
all through his presidency.
and did you see?
He did, but
did you see the clip?
Let's talk
wait,
about in
but
the
did you
context
see
of
the
Saturday
clip?
Night
Did you
Live.
see the clip of Fox where when Obama was talking about meeting with Kim Jong Un?
Yeah, Fox was very hard.
Yes,
on
they
him.
were very hard on him, and then Trump does the same
But
thing.
the rest of the
Exactly.
media,
And then they were-
the rest
yeah.
of the media loved Obama. Let's
they
be
do
honest.
they, to an extent.
They fawned over him.
To an
I
extent.
don't
But
know
let me
about
go
that.
on.
Well, yeah.
But okay.
He said when we make products in China and not the US, we're cheating our own country, and we put people in positions to do illegal things. Pretty much trying to say these jobs that we can
So
be having
his
here.
own Yeezys, where are they made?
I believe they made in China, but he's trying to build factories. No, but at least he's trying to do
Go on,
something.
go
He's
on.
trying to build factories in Chicago.
Okay.
He's been meeting with all these industrialists. He met with Dan Gilbert. He met with quite a few people. But then that's
but then-
much Kanye. Sometimes
yeah.
Kanye does things just to
Just to and then Kanye will
Just
come
to
out and be
just-
like, "Yo, I need y'all to give me like 5 million so I can do this shit." Just tweets it from nowhere.
No, that was
But,
a while ago.
but he did that.
He did it.
Yeah, and then
he asked Mark Zuckerberg.
Yeah, it's like, yo,
more
send
than
me
5
On
million.
Twitter.
On Twitter. Get out of here, man.
Yeah, he was tripping with that.
I believe that factory when I see it.
And then he talked about then they brought up the fact that this guy, man, you are the same one that was telling us George Bush doesn't like black people. Like, what's going on here? And then he responded to that. He said when he went on NBC, he was basically in an emotional state and he was programmed to think from a victimized mentality. Bam. See, I feel like that conversation is a whole. I'm not even gonna get into that because I'm not an expert on on some subjects, but I feel like there is some truth to that. He said blacks get caught up in the idea of racism over the idea of industry. See, that I don't know. I'm a little bit neutral. I didn't really know what he meant. And that's why I keep saying he speaks in these concepts. But some people agreed with him.
Yes.
He said we have to hold police accountable, but we also have to take responsibility for what we do, and that we have to open up the whole conversation. That's where
Yeah,
it gets into the
okay,
whole.
I agree
When
with
people
that.
bring up police brutality, and then the Republicans hit you with black on black violence. I think that's what he was really trying to speak to. And I think he was trying to say we need to just talk about everything,
Okay.
and that we can't compartmentalize one over the other. And I guess I'm kind of playing Kanye Whisperer here. And
Yeah.
Yeah, you are.
But like,
You see, I'm looking at you like.
look at police brutality right now. Yes, black on black. There is black on black crime. The
But-
black people need to.
Go
We need, like, even me as a African or black guy. There are some places in this Baltimore cell that I don't want to be seen because I don't feel safe. So, but
Right,
that doesn't
but-
have anything to do with police brutality. Because
Right.
even as I am right now, an educated man doing well from everything, I'm not still safe.
From the police,
police.
which you should be. Exactly.
I can walk down the street and
doesn't-
any white person can call the cops on me and say they think I'm stealing my own car.
So you said something. You said it doesn't have anything to do with police
It doesn't.
brutality.
The police brutality and black people don't have to take responsibility for what goes on black on black. But that and people are not complaining when police, raid like trap houses and stuff like that. What the brutality is about is that, dude, you're on your own. I saw a clip where the white lady calls cops and says, "Oh, this guy looks like he's breaking into the car," and you should see how they arrested him for driving his own car. That is police brutality.
Yeah, but I guess my question is, how often does that happen?
a lot.
A lot.
Yeah,
Corey.
but then
There was one that was
do you have any
recent.
statistics?
There was one that was
Sorry.
recent.
Have
Where
any
there was one that was recent where
no,
the,
no, no.
Hold on. Wait,
so
wait,
here's,
wait,
here's
wait,
the thing
wait.
people do,
Yeah.
right? They go on social media, they see all these videos because
Yeah.
it happens.
One is
But
too
then-
many, Corey. I'm sorry.
Corey, let me tell you what I think
One
they need
what?
to do.
One what is too
Corey,
many? Can you be more specific?
Like,
One police
one-
brutality
not
issue.
not even that.
What?
I think
Like,
the people that they
Juan
need to.
McDonald that just got the cop that shot him 16 times on the floor.
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but one is too many in my
Corey,
view.
I've seen a
Okay.
video of a cop telling someone to get his license and registration, and he reaches for it and he shoots
Shot
him,
him.
saying, "Oh, he's getting a gun." So now,
don't
granted,
say-
It's a problem.
It's a problem. Okay, recently there was this white lady who just called the cop on a 9-year-old boy. He was in the grocery store,
Yeah.
He
walking
brushed-
behind her. His book bag brushed her in the
against
ass,
her.
I saw
and
it.
she
I
called.
saw it.
Now, if you're telling me we need to reform, it should be actually. I don't want to be like blatant, but it should be just white people you should call and the police and say, hey, for every false call, there should be a penalty.
So yeah, what you're saying is that
Police brutality doesn't come
So
from
what you're
just-
saying is that we don't need to reform the
Black-
issues. Do you
the-
know how many? Do you know how
we
many
need to
people
reform
have died
black
in
on
Baltimore
black.
this
Yes,
year
black
so
on
far?
black, but black on black is not
can I
reason for
say
police
so,
brutality.
wait. So hold on. You know, black on black crime is not a real thing because we kill you kill who is in your vicinity. White on white crime is a thing. Like, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, we kill
But-
who's in our area. That's all that is.
Okay, but-
you will kill
but
a
do
white
you
person
know-
who lives in your white area.
Okay, but do you know, like, just in terms of proportions, right?
Mm-hmm.
You would admit that.
I mean, right.
Yes, in
But
Baltimore,
there
the
are
number of
different
homicides is a
factors,
lot.
you know,
Not just Baltimore.
Yeah,
Right,
all over,
Chicago,
yes, we live-
whatever, right? But there
Yes.
another factors that
Chirac,
contribute to all
yes.
that stuff, right? It's not just because like we want to
so
kill
can
each
I
other.
tell you something? Can I also inform you? Did you know that any time that they like reduce police like enforcement
Mm-hmm.
in certain parts here in Baltimore, you do know that the murder rates spike up, right?
Right, but no, but
Corey,
that's see, but no,
I'm
saying
not
But you're
no,
telling-
to-
but you're
listen,
saying
Corey,
it's
Corey,
not-
wait.
Corey,
I'm
you're
not
saying that's
saying.
not
But how
something
does
that needs
that
to be
Okay.
addressed.
that needs
Corey,
to be
Corey, hold on.
addressed.
I'm not talking about we need policing. We don't need police brutality. Two different things.
Corey, yes, you should not be pulled over and
For
tasered
no reason.
because you're a
What?
black
We
guy.
need
Corey, I've
police,
been
sure.
I've been pulled over and
I
because
think Corey,
No one is saying you need to be pulled over and tased, but I'm saying
Yeah.
all I'm saying is that the conversation you cannot compartmentalize
We're
the
not
conversation.
against police, Corey. I think that's what you're missing. I'm not against police. I'm against police brutality, killing people for no reason.
Let's move on. He also brings up the fact that he said someone brought up, of course, racism, and he says racism can't control me. He said that's an invisible wall. Basically,
Racism is an invisible wall.
he said racism can't control him. That to him, racism is an invisible wall. Basically, racism isn't what is
Doesn't
holding
exist.
him from. No, he said
He doesn't see it.
he does. Basically, he's saying
can
he can't
go
he
through
can't,
it.
He can't control him.
It can't stop him.
But he also mentioned stop and frisk. He said that does not help.
so he's talking out of his
Trump
mouth.
and
or
Trump,
what? I
yeah,
don't
to
understand.
a large extent he was. And Trump actually said, "Look, I'm open-minded to that."
Mm-hmm.
So that right there, I felt like was some level of concession, because that's a huge deal.
Was
so
it?
so stop and frisk is something that they're proposing right now in Chicago. They did it in New York. It was an issue.
Yeah, it was a disaster.
But when it wasn't. But here's the thing: it wasn't a disaster.
Okay.
The crime rate actually went down, but it was still discriminatory, and that was an issue.
Okay.
They stopped it, and the crime rates have still been dropping. So we know stop and frisk isn't necessarily the most effective tool. Kanye brought it up, and he said, "Look, this isn't something that we should be doing in Chicago." So I mean, this is now when you say he's talking out of both sides of his mouth, I don't think he's necessarily. I don't think he is. I think he's embracing different parts of the different sides of the argument to an extent. So he did stand up to that, and Trump seemed to at least concede. So that's why whenever people
Conceded to what?
he seemed to be open to not adopting stop and frisk.
Okay.
So I feel like, and that's why whenever people say you can't go and talk to somebody, you can't because it's this. I feel like that you have to be at the table. This is the most powerful man in the world.
Right.
You need people to be at the table. Yes, we can argue that maybe Kanye shouldn't be one of the people at the table, but somebody needs to.
Kanye can't be at the table.
But someone
needs
needs to be at the table to have these discussions. No one has stepped up, and it just so happens Kanye
But
is the one.
how do you know no one has stepped up?
No, but do you also think
people
this
are.
open?
Who like they try to get Colin Kaepernick to come and air out his grievances at the White House. Everyone's like, no, don't go. Kanye was one of the people.
But why is
called
Kanye the one?
Kaepernick.
Why can't Trump reach out to Kaepernick? And actually, he doesn't even need to reach out. His rhetoric about Kaepernick in public is already enough for me. If I was Kaepernick, I wouldn't want to go either. He said I was son of a bitches.
But let me ask you guys, why do we feel
what you're
celebs
saying is
have to be the ones to go
you.
talk
That's
to?
what I'm saying.
Like, why do
does
we
it have
feel
to be
like?
Kanye?
Do you
Why
guys
can't it be
think everything
Somebody
Kanye
does.
said to
Somebody
Trump,
does,
all this
though.
one Trump is saying is just because there are cameras there?
Duh.
I'd rather that was a closed door meeting,
Thank
and
you.
we just saw like we got
It's for
clips.
attention.
Yeah, it's for attention from both sides, especially from Kanye.
I mean, you can say
You're
what
coming
you will,
in there
but
to
at
a
least-
man when his
but
hat.
But here's my thing.
Come on,
right?
man.
You can say what you will. Here's my thing, right?
Come
I
on.
will never point fingers at somebody that is at least attempting to
Attempting
have a
to do
dialogue.
what?
To do what?
To have a dialogue. It
About
doesn't
what?
matter.
That wasn't a dialogue where you're telling the man, "I love this man. I want to hug this man." Like, dude,
No, but I just listed a bunch
Go-
of things
go behind
that,
closed
a bunch of
doors.
things
I would
that, that's
respect you more
sparking
if you
conversation.
went
You
behind
do
closed
realize that a lot of these things have been sparking
also
conversation.
Trump has all of a sudden listened and is going
I'm
to
not
change.
saying that. Look, here's the thing. Yeah, you're being dismissive, and you. Here's the thing. We complain this and that.
Okay.
But then when someone decides that, okay, I'm going to actually go and confront this person and actually.
That wasn't confronting.
That was not confronting.
I mean,
but
he
okay.
brought up
And
he brought up
also-
stop and
okay,
frisk.
So all
He
this
brought up
conversation-
the fact that Larry people like Larry Hoover need to get out of jail. Now I don't necessarily agree with that.
Okay.
But
Uh-huh.
it doesn't
Okay.
change the
all
fact that he's
okay. So
trying
they've
to have
had
a dialogue.
conversation now. So what was the end result
It's
of this
only been 2
conversation?
days. It's only,
No, but what did they?
people
Okay,
were
okay,
saying the
okay,
same
okay.
thing
Can I
about
ask-
Kim Kardashian.
Okay, wait,
she got a woman
wait,
free.
wait,
What are we
wait,
talking
Corey,
about?
Okay, what's the conclusion of this conversation?
Well, we're gonna find out. It just happened this past weekend.
So I mean, but what was? How
It's
did they wrap
sparking
up
a conversation.
How did they wrap up the conversation? What was the proposed? Like,
They
okay, this is
eventually
what
went
we're
to
going
lunch. We
do.
don't know. We don't know what's going to come out of it. But my point is that there's still a dialogue still needs to happen. We can't just keep shouting at the other side and expecting
But
things
it's
to change.
Kanye.
Nobody's shouting.
Nobody's
Well,
shouting.
I'm not shouting at the other
right?
side.
But I feel like I'll
But
take it
then
more
we're
seriously
complaining
if it
about
was-
police brutality.
Listen,
Someone goes there to try to address something like that, and we're saying and we're attacking the guy.
I'm not attacking
People
him
are
for
saying
police
people are.
brutality.
Should I tell you some of the things
What?
people are saying about this guy? Someone on CNN called him a freaking token Negro.
Look,
okay.
Is that supposed to be
Look.
productive? Someone said he's going there to someone said he went there to have a minstrel show. Don Lemon, that guy is a joke.
Okay.
I don't think that means a joke, but
That guy's
I mean
a
that's
joke.
his opinion.
The guy said he went there to do a minstrel show. People said he's
That's
a
his
token
opinion.
Negro. Do you know what it
That's
means?
their
Do you know what it
opinion.
means for someone else to call you on national TV on somewhere like CNN a token Negro because you decided to wear a Make America Great hat again?
do you wear Make America?
No,
Great
but
Again?
but
Are you
why
a
don't
but,
Democrat?
but why does that have to do with
Are you a
why does that?
Democrat?
I'm not a Democrat. I'm not a
Does that hat
Republican.
make you feel like a hero?
What so why you bring it up?
Are you the
So
one-
what does that have to do
who-
with anything?
He went on for someone that went on the run. What was that racism?
So you're
slavery
saying-
rant he went on the other day.
So
on
let me ask you
TMZ.
something. So
Right.
let me ask you something. You're saying just wearing a Make America Great hat
It's not.
makes
It's
you
not.
racist.
It's not. It doesn't make you racist.
So,
Correct.
so what is it?
Wait.
Why are you being
You're
petty
coming.
about it?
I'm not being
Calm
petty.
down.
Wait. So
I'm calm.
Breathe.
I'm calm.
if you say if I
I'm-
say if I understand that your government is not doing the right thing, the last thing I should be doing if I have a dialogue with you is to be stroking your ego.
Thank
So
you.
what?
Kanye
So what
was
right thing
stroking
isn't the government
Trump.
doing? Explain.
He's in the one also complaining about police brutality and stuff like that.
So,
I shouldn't be stroking your
wait,
ego. I
you
shouldn't
said-
be,
you said
even
your
when he said,
government isn't doing the right thing, Abi.
even when he said, I love this guy. Trump said, I wasn't trying to force you to say that. Even in Trump himself was like, yeah, I wasn't trying to put you in a situation
what's that
whereby
got to? I said
you
you said his government wasn't doing the right thing.
Isn't that what we're
So
saying?
what-
Now?
so
Isn't
what
that
right
what we're
thing
saying?
isn't he
That
doing?
police brutality? Isn't that if the right?
So you think police brutality started because of
It
Trump?
didn't start because
Who
of
said
Trump now,
Trump,
but
though?
he's
We
saying
said
that we need to.
government,
We said
what
government now.
What?
Corey, Kanye.
No,
Kanye,
Wale said the government
if you're
isn't
saying
doing
that
the
the
right
government,
thing.
Yes,
any
everything.
government, any government, but the present one, and the present one has an issue where, and maybe him and Trump are the same person to an extent, so that's why they can relate to each other. To an extent, they're almost the same person. But I feel like it's an insult if you're coming to say I'm representing black people in a dialogue.
Who said he was? Who said he was representing? He went there to have a dialogue. He's his own man.
So why is he talking about black on black if he's not representing black
But
people?
so
Why is
because he can't speak on black people.
Okay, what else? Why is he not talking about black people's PTSD? So what did he talk about that does not protect to black people?
No, you said he was representing black people.
What did he say in that meeting? What did he say in that meeting? So he went in that to do what? What's that meeting?
He went to have a dialogue
about what?
black
About people in the blacks, but that doesn't necessarily mean he's representing black people.
So if you're going to go and
black
talk,
people are not a monolith. You can't have one person represent all of black people.
You said we need to have a dialogue.
Yes,
we need to have a dialogue with Trump about
Yes.
what? Is it not about black people?
about issues within the black.
Yes.
Okay,
So
so
if
he went
I
as
go
our
and to
mouthpiece.
talk to
Exactly,
somebody about the
what?
dialogue, am I not representing
He's a mouthpiece for black
on
people
behalf
at
of
that-
you guys
in that meeting, yes.
at that point in
Necessarily.
time? Okay.
Yes.
He's
Correct.
speaking on our behalf. He might be speaking.
That's
speaking.
what I said.
Hey, isn't that what representing means? He's speaking on my behalf.
But when you say representing all, he
Correct,
can't
that's
represent all
semantics,
black
please.
people. No,
Don't use semantics right now. That's what Wale meant, and you know what he meant.
they're black
Stop.
Republicans.
Okay. He
So-
went as a mouthpiece for black people in that meeting. That's what he went
Okay.
to do.
Okay.
That's what Wale
Yeah,
said.
and if you know that one of the issues black people have is that they feel the man you're going to talk to, and some issues have shown that he might not care
Or respect
or
black
respect
people.
the community. I think,
Like
and
what?
then
Explain.
Corey, what is Make America Great Again? Come on, when was
Corey,
America great? That is not that you want to make it again. In what aspect? In what aspect? This man is the same man.
So he addressed that.
Okay,
He said he wants to change it to make America great. He doesn't want the again.
sure. Yeah,
Okay,
I mean, I
agree with
agree.
that.
I agree with that. Yeah, take the again away.
Okay, so
And then why didn't he make his own hat say Make America Great Again?
he did.
So why didn't he
made,
wait?
He made it, and he actually presented it.
On that is phone, Abi.
No, he presented it. You know,
So
he
what was that image
He
on his
actually
phone?
presented it.
He
You
wore
didn't
it?
know that, did
So
you?
did he wear
You know
it?
why he didn't know that?
What?
Because
Because they
people were
put it
busy
there.
calling him a token Negro on CNN.
Did he wear
I
the
don't
Make
think-
America Great?
I don't think
hat?
I won't call him a token nigga. I
It
just
was-
think
he didn't. He didn't wear the edited version. He wore
See,
the
that's-
original
Yeah,
version.
that's
so
not
if,
it.
But
so
but he did propose that he wanted Trump to change it to make America great.
why doesn't he change it and wear it for himself?
He
Why?
did.
No.
He
Did
made one.
But
He
he didn't
made it.
wear it, Corey. That's what I'm
I
has
saying.
there been a picture of
I
him
think-
wearing it?
I think there was a video, but he made one. There was a video, and you see, these are
Kanye
things that you
is
don't
all
hear.
for
These
Kanye.
are
I'm
things
sorry.
you don't
Go on,
hear.
go
You guys
on,
are
go on.
skeptics.
Go on.
So
He-
wait,
but he did
okay,
make
okay,
a
okay.
hat.
I'm not a skeptic. I've just concluded that I love Kanye's music, but
The very last
outside
thing,
of that,
the
he's
very,
not.
and you know what, and that's very fair.
Go on,
That's
go
very
on,
fair. I think.
And
I think,
why are we even using?
Go on,
So
what's
the
the
very
very
last
last
thing he said was they
Yeah.
brought up gun violence, and he
Okay.
said illegal guns. He said he said illegal guns is the problem. He said we all have a right to bear arms. So I guess he's
Illegal
a staunch.
guns. All the kids that shut up schools were not legally.
So gun
illegal
violence,
games.
it
That's-
depends
that's-
on.
that's
Yeah,
true.
so
That's
that's
a
what I'm
fair
saying. And you're
point.
telling
That's a
me
fair
that
point.
it's not representing the black community.
That-
Illegal guns is
that's a
only
fair
affected
point.
in the black community. That's only when because these people are getting the guns illegally.
Yes.
The legal guns
And not the
are
problem
not
only.
it's not
the
those
only
are-
problem.
The white
They're-
people are the
they're
ones
not.
getting that. So
but then, as it relates to the black community, you do admit that
yes, illegal guns.
Right.
So
But-
the
so-
same police
so
is
there's
talking
some
about.
truth
Are
to
they not
that.
the ones giving them the guns? Where are they getting guns from? These niggas ain't got. Where do you think they get the guns from?
So we're going to end
Well,
it there.
all in all, I'm sorry, but Kanye, I don't even know. That's why I was quiet this whole conversation. It's like I don't have anything to say about him.
So the reason why I bring this up is clearly he was talking and he was going on, and I mean he's admitted that he's bipolar.
right.
He
And
also
he's
he's also
actually on
admitted
medication.
he's admitted several times that he's not on medication either,
He takes it. He off and on, I guess.
off and on, and
Yeah.
I think that was really what I was trying to understand. I think that it brings us to this whole idea of. So some of the things I was hearing on TV was they were dismissing him as hey Taiwo.
Yeah, I'm here.
There's some background noise.
Yeah,
man.
you know the mic picks up everything you're doing, so we can hear every little thing.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
But that's-
okay, I'm here now.
But that's where the whole mental health discussion comes up, because some people are dismissing everything he was saying as crazy, and I think that's where, for me, that's a dangerous path, because I feel like if people are vulnerable enough to come out and admit they have mental health issues, and I'm sure there are a lot of people in the black community that can relate to that.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And that's a very important discussion to have. But when you dismiss everything they say
As a
and
crazy
label them as
ramblings of
crazy,
a crazy person.
I think that's very, very dangerous. But we also have to acknowledge that there were parts of this stream of consciousness that
we're not coherent at all.
they weren't really coherent
and coherent to the
and
conversation
I
at
think
all.
And that's a fair point. And I think that's where I want to have this discussion because, and this is something that affects us in the in the African community too.
A lot.
And that's kind of where I wanted to kind of switch to Taiwo, just in terms of, again, I've known many people within the African community. They haven't been very, very open about it. I know there was one time that Taiwo had made a post on Instagram, which I found very inspiring because I had no idea. Taiwo, from back in high school, he was my junior, but I mean, this was one of the most exuberant dudes out there. Like, he was the life of the party. He was always, so when he posted on Instagram and he posted about the fact that he might have been going through some form of depression. It's not the same thing as Kanye because I don't want to conflate it, but it is a mental health issue. But he said he was going through some form of depression, and I guess he pretty much was reaching out to all of his followers, like, look, don't be afraid to talk to somebody, don't be afraid to get help. I found that very inspiring, and that was part of why I wanted to bring Taiwo into the discussion, and I wanted to find out a little bit more about, just how you've dealt with it, and Yeti, did you want to jump in here?
Yeah, I was gonna say, what were the go ahead, start, and then we'll
Taiwo,
ask questions.
So I guess, did you want to? I had some questions, but did you want to first talk about it first?
Yeah, no, like exactly. Like, I mean, one of the things, like, you made a great point there. Like, because I was so naturally, like, outgoing, I felt like.
Hello.
You
couldn't
Yeah.
Sorry, you felt like what?
Hello, yeah. Nah, man.
Hello.
Yeah, I felt like I couldn't express it. People didn't get it. Like, a lot of people didn't get it. Like, they just dismissed it initially. Like, oh yeah, there's nothing wrong with you. Like, you're just having a bad day. And I think for a lot of people, African community or not, I think the problem is acknowledging the fact that it's not just a bad day. It's not just a bad week. It's an issue. It's something that needs to be addressed. And obviously, there are so many things that can trigger this kind of episodes and depressive episodes and stuff. It could be career, it could be education, it could be family, personal stuff. So a lot of people relate it to them, like, okay, this is because of that. But I feel.
Sorry, before you go on, was this something that, did you notice this when you were a kid, or was it recently as an adult while you were in Dublin?
Yeah. Like, I don't really, like, because, obviously I left Nigeria when I was, like, 14, 15. So it wasn't that I didn't notice it as a kid. I think it was when I reached, like, 18, 19, 20 that it became a proper, like, a permanent feature in my life that, okay, I had, like, this really depressive episodes. And the way I would interact, the way I dealt with it was with anger.
Okay.
So I would act out. I would be really frustrated about things, and I just was really, really angry, like, about, like, for no reason, and then after the anger, I'll go back to this depressive episodes again for, like, weeks, and I don't want to talk to people. And then, any small thing, I'll just literally flip on people,
And did you ever get diagnosed?
Yeah, like, no, yeah. So it took till I was like 26 that I literally was like, all right, cool. I need to actually deal with this properly. So I did get diagnosed, and even when I got diagnosed, it didn't take until last year before I started doing therapy.
So wait,
crazy because
sorry. So you always who took? Did you just go to the doctor? Did you seek out the help yourself, or the diagnosis yourself, or did your parent take you to the doctor, or how did that come about?
My parents didn't take with the African parents now. No, the parents didn't do that. I had to, like, I was going out with a girl at the time, and she was the one that was literally, she was trying to introduce me to, like, just trying to tell me, like, look, maybe you should do that. Coincidentally, she was like an Irish girl at the time, but so maybe it was that different perspective, from an African perspective. My mom's a nurse, so she would have understood, like, but I just didn't want. I didn't know how to. So I don't. To be honest, I can't blame them because I didn't know how to, I didn't know how to engage with them about things like that.
Yeah,
and I'm sure they would have even known how to deal with that as well at that level of what it was at the time. They would have just, okay, you're going through this and this and that. They would have thought this is a clinical issue that needs to be dealt with clinically. And I think that is the main thing. A lot of people don't understand. It's a clinical it's a mental health. That's what it's a mental health issue. It's not that you're going through like the counseling bitch. They're talking to people big. And one of my things is like, when people say talk to people, don't talk to people so that they can get you professional help. That's what I always say to people when I'm talking about it, because a lot of people get into this whole, especially, I think it was mental health day a couple of days ago, and people put all this fancy posts, and then they're like, oh, Carl, you're always a good friend, and you can talk to your friends. Look, people have things they're going through, so they're not professionally.
That's true.
Not the professional capability to deal with you, and you're just going to end up getting more frustrated. Even people that genuinely care, they just don't know. There's some things that I can speak to people for hours about, and they're just like, it's draining. But you have to be in a position where you can deal with someone that has a professional capabilities to deal with you, drain them of what's going on with you. It's like, if you're a nurse or you're a doctor and your specialty is not a particular thing, you can't go to a brain surgeon and talk about something that he doesn't like, is not in his field, because just be like, okay, I understand, but how can I help you really? So I think a lot of people need to understand these things. But yeah, it was when I was 26 that I actually got into the kind of mind frame, okay, I need to seek professional help at that time, and it became from counseling, and then went to therapist, and I didn't go to therapy for like 3 years, so I didn't go to therapy till last year, and I went to like a proper extensive therapy session. So that was it really.
Wow. So you were formally diagnosed with depression, or what it was, if you don't mind me asking? So depression. Okay. So you saw an actual psychiatrist or a psychologist?
Yeah, both. So there's a difference, like both. Yeah. So I saw like a psychiatrist, and
who
they were like, okay,
prescribed like medication and all that.
Yeah. They prescribed like antidepressants for that was like when I was like 20. That was like 3 years ago. So I took that, but I didn't follow up with therapy sessions after that. You see, antidepressants is a drug.
Yeah, it can only do so much.
It just numbs you. It doesn't It doesn't deal with the psychological effect of what you're going through. It's just something that literally it's like if you have an headache, you get a painkiller. It doesn't mean that you might not have things going on with your brain, whatever.
So the antidepressants only take care of the symptom. You still have to talk to somebody to figure out why what the issue is, because we all have issues. We need to talk to a therapist to get to the bottom of the problem.
Yeah, absolutely. The tricky things with antidepressants as well is like, because it's a psychological thing, your brain eventually overcomes the antidepressants, because you still have that in the back of it. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
So the antidepressant works as a numbing factor where it just numbs everything. So it's like almost you don't have any kind of emotional kind of. It's just it leaves you neutral, right? But eventually your brain, because your brain is a powerful, they say your mind is the most powerful thing you have. Your mind eventually actually counteracts that.
Well, I feel like that's because you didn't go back to get it stabilized though. Taiwo, did you go back to get it?
You always need to stabilize
it. Because when they give you antidepressants, they have to mess with it to make sure you have the right, because it's a chemical imbalance in your brain. And you're not producing the right dopamines and all that stuff, so they have to give you the right combination to give you the right normal.
But because I know someone that was manic depressive also.
That's a different.
And is that like more extreme?
There are different versions of depression.
But I know that person hated taking those drugs.
Yeah, because it doesn't. Right. There are side effects now.
It deaded all their senses, their creativity.
Unfortunately, and that's why Kanye doesn't take it. I feel like.
Yeah,
I think that's why Kanye doesn't take it, because he's not in his genius mode, and it kind of numbs. It numbs some people. That's what I've heard anyway. So
that's what I'm saying. It's a numbing factor. It had a numbing effect on me. So, and no, you're right. I didn't go back. That's why I said when I went to the doctor of age when I was around 26. I didn't go back to see a therapist till I was 29.
Oh, wow. How long it was. So did you keep taking the medicine, or you just stopped?
No, I stopped taking the medicine.
And that's actually kind of dangerous too, though. You know that.
I do, but I just felt like the therapy just works better for me.
Yeah.
At the moment.
So you're saying like talking to somebody really does.
Some people need both. Some people need only one.
But that's a professional. That's someone that's professionally capable of actually dealing with that. That's someone that knows how antidepressants work. You're talking to someone as a friend that doesn't, as you can say, you obviously know a little bit about this because you're in the medical line. But if you're talking to a friend that doesn't know the effects of antidepressants or whatever, they would not understand. Okay, this is why you might need to go on antidepressants. So you're just talking to people. When you're talking to a professional that knows, they're therapists, but they also know how antidepressants work. They will be able to find a balance and how to guide you there without lying to you. Because sometimes even your friends they might want to just make you feel better and say, oh, you're fine, or this and that. You need a professional. Your friends will do that because that's just in the natural way. And I felt even my parents, they felt like they would just, even they can listen to it, but they just like, you'll be fine, it's okay, blah, blah, blah. But you need someone that's going to be able to be stern with you.
Yeah.
They can guide you medically, but they can also be able to unpack what you're going through.
Yeah.
And I think you guys
unbiased
brought up the PTSD.
view, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. And you guys brought up PTSD. I think it's something that we've really just neglected in the African community, in the Black community in general,
for sure.
as something. I think there's a reason why a lot of Black
Living
kids
in
act
Niger
out.
will give you PTSD. Like, let's be
I'm
honest.
telling you, the things we saw in in Nigeria, even in Ibadan at the time, is just you see dead bodies on the road.
Yeah,
And,
I still remember. I still remember them.
School.
We saw dead
Yeah,
bodies.
but
going
it's
to
funny
school.
with school. The things, because I also went to ISI, and the things that we were neutral to us.
Yeah.
I remember when I transferred to Alashire, it was very, very to them. It was like, that's wild.
Yeah.
And recently I heard about and even what was going on in Alashire to us too was still in the normal realms. But thinking about it now, it's actually like bullying and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But recently I heard a kid killed himself in Alashire.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So
Wow.
RIP to him. Yeah.
So Taiwo, just out of curiosity, has your family come
I was
around?
just gonna say. So when you got diagnosed, how did you break it to your parents?
I didn't break it to them in that time. I only broke it to them probably because I wasn't living at home as well. So that's another factor. You get what I mean? So I didn't live at home with them since I was like 21. I lived in my own house. So it wasn't the thing that they saw on a daily basis. That's why I said it was my girlfriend at the time that saw it, because I was living with her. So she was the one that saw it. I dealt with it. Like, they just saw that I was distant. Like, I won't call them. And Dublin is tiny. Like, Dublin is not even the size of Bodija. Like, it's a small, it's a small city. So I could have seen them. It's small. Ireland is 4 million, the population. So, I mean, it's a small country. But anyway, so they figured I was distant. I remember sending my mom a text message. I was literally like, I'm suicidal. I think I'm gonna kill myself. It was a long message, like on WhatsApp. Yeah. That was like maybe 2 years ago, and that was when I was like, okay, I really need to start.
So what did she say?
It's proper. She didn't reply.
Wow.
Oh wow.
She just didn't reply. I think she had a conversation with my sister, and my sister then had a conversation with me. We had a good conversation.
How did you feel though?
After and all that? How did I feel about it?
Yeah, that she didn't reply.
It was an honest conversation, it was an honest text. I just was seeking out for help because I just felt like I needed help,
Yeah, I mean, her not replying, how did you feel? Like,
I mean, she probably didn't know how to deal with it either.
Exactly.
It probably shocked her, and I know his mom too. I can imagine how she was too scared to even.
Yeah, but ignoring
it though, I don't know.
Big.
Yeah.
And
but this is the message we need to
unfortunately,
get out there.
Africans are in denial about all this. She probably went to pray.
To
be frank about it, they probably no. They are. Trust me, Nigerian parents. When you tell them you have mental things, they will say
not only just mental, anything they can't understand.
They go pray, and that's it.
It becomes spiritual, because that's a safe haven for you. I don't understand what's going on here, so the only explanation is that it's spiritual, and that's why we have a problem we have in that country.
Yep.
I think.
Can you imagine the amount of people just walking around in that country with all sorts of?
I saw a picture recently of like a whole family, a family of 5 yesterday.
Yeah.
That they're all mental and on the streets. A father, mother, 3 kids, and the guy who posted the picture was like, he heard the father speak to the kids and like he was speaking proper English and stuff like that, but like everyone's just, they're like in rags. You know how the dreads, like,
they're probably schizophrenic.
you know how the dreads, like,
when
it gets dirty and stuff, that's how they were all a family of 5 on the street, and no one helped, no one
all
did
they
anything.
need is medication.
But everyone sees them.
Remember
That's
all the
sad.
crazy people in Nigeria that we used to see, that we used to call crazy on the road.
Yeah.
There was one in
Every one of them, they would say
there was one in Bodija that was a doctor. But there was one that used to be at the
basically
junction.
they'll say they use jazz for him. Jazz is like black magic.
Corey, there was one that used to be at the junction of Old Bodija and New Bodija. That guy, I heard he was a doctor.
Yeah.
before he ran mad.
I think I remember the guy.
Yes,
I think
I heard
See,
it was a
even that
doctor
word
before,
ran mad.
you know,
he didn't
but that's
run
the thing. He didn't
mad.
run mad. Yeah, but
right,
growing up,
the way we
that was the perception.
Unfortunately,
And
the
like
way
it's,
Nigerians handle things,
you
a lot
know,
of them are schizophrenic.
They all
and
have
yes,
mental
they are.
illness.
It's mental illness
It's
is
mental
real,
illness.
but the
It's so
safest
sad.
way is throw him away. Somebody in your village is looking for you. They found you.
Or the one that
you know
what's the one that really upsets me when I see is all those old women that now they probably have dementia and Alzheimer's and stuff, but they'll speak gibberish and rubbish, and they'll start saying rubbish about I killed this person.
And
It's
they will call them
stuff.
witches.
Do you know? Yeah, one
and then they'll kill these poor
one
people.
guy
It's so
called out.
frustrating.
One guy called out his church or the pastor that told him that his problem, his life is from his mother. You know, and that's another thing too. I don't want to go on my church rant again, but you know, these are institutions that are supposed to even help you, but they're the ones telling you, oh, that's that woman. She says something wrong.
Do you remember that girl that Pastor Oyedepo slapped?
Oh, I
remember
that.
the one that she was where she was
She
saying,
was like, I'm a witch for Christ.
I'm a witch for Jesus.
Yeah, and he slapped her.
I'm pretty sure that woman had
something,
mental illness.
right? Like
mental illness
something,
is
and he slapped the poor
but
girl.
then he framed it as she was possessed.
Yeah, it's possessed. Yeah,
Nigerians, man.
It's everywhere. Not just
ridiculous.
Christians, Muslims, traditionalists, all of them
yeah.
put it as
it's the way
is something
but
unspiritual.
unfortunately it's because they don't understand it. It's just like I get so frustrated when I talk about this because
And
it's like it's so
every
sad. It doesn't
aspect.
have to happen. It's not easy to manage, but it can be managed. And these
It
people on
can
the
be.
street,
It can be
and
functioning.
they're like,
It can be functioning.
yes,
Yeah.
you can be, and they're on the streets with nothing.
see-
like look at this
you
five
see
family.
kids
Kanye
with
is freaking going to the White House.
what's that?
Sick.
What's that disease that kids have like people have where you can't like you you see it's not I don't want to use the word retard, but is it autism?
Autism,
Yeah.
yeah.
And I remember seeing like growing up, I see a kid.
Scared to use it.
I don't want to because
Yeah, you're right, you're right.
I see a kid, you know, but they will tell you he's retarded. You know, and I think it's
Yeah,
like
well-
now I realize that this guy just had autism. And you know they would make him seem like, dude, don't go talk to that guy. I don't be next
And
to
those
that guy.
autistic kids, the kind of genius stuff.
But that's the thing,
Yeah.
and that guy would be on its own, and you'd be looking at it like he'll come and be like, "Oh snap, man, you stay over there." But like that's wrong.
So Taiwo, so like just
Yeah.
if you had to say someone that was going through some kind of mental health struggle out there, like just giving your experience and given how you've been able to kind of deal with yours, like what would you say to them, especially someone within the African community? Because as you know, as we all just expressed, we know that this isn't something that we tend to like treat well within our communities. Like what would you say to somebody whose family might not understand? Like how do they go about dealing with their stuff? How would you advise them?
It's great. Like, it's a good question. And the thing I always say to people is like, not everybody's depression situation is the same. And like one of the things that I'm getting a bit like kind of bothered with in this kind of the mental health debate, and you know at the moment is the fact that a lot of people try to like make it like kind of a one-stop solution. Like there's no one-stop solution to it. The main thing you get what I mean? Like there's no one-stop solution to it. So when I see people pull up this, today is gonna be a great day and tomorrow is gonna, when I was like really, really depressed, I didn't go to the internet and look for inspirational quotes. You know, it's just, it doesn't work. Like it's true. Like it's just like, I just feel a lot of people that don't go through those things just put those things out. And it's good and it's well-meaning, and and I know it's well-meaning. I'm not criticizing it. But something's like, oh, you can always talk to me. You can always phone a friend. Look, I'm not going to call my friend at 9 o'clock in the morning when I feel like I really don't want to leave my bed and they're on the way to work and think I can unload on them. That's not feasible. It's not going to work. I feel people need to understand that this is a clinical thing, as Yetunde pointed out. And like the main thing to do is treat it like you have a flu. You have a really bad head cold, and you have to go to the hospital and go there because you have a really bad head cold. Start treating it like that. Start treating it like what it is, as opposed to this whole and I think it's the same kind of grouping of let's sit down and pray about it, or let's go and see a pastor. It's the same old phone a friend. I think I group them as the same kind of solution because it doesn't work.
It doesn't work.
99% doesn't work. Whether you pray, whether you go and talk to a friend, whether you go and talk to your boyfriend, it doesn't work.
That's like
First
saying
step
you have a
solution is
broken
clinical.
leg. Go pray for your broken leg. You need to go to the doctor to see for your broken leg.
So with that said, I guess if someone were to come meet me, right, and I was going through something like that, I guess the best thing I can do for them is, of course, I could probably talk to them, but I definitely have to include that they should go see somebody.
See somebody. Even help them
Open the
find
internet
someone.
and search
Right,
and search a
exactly.
psychologist
Thank
for
you.
them.
Yeah.
straight away.
Wait, so what do you think about the effect of social media on our mental health in general? Because I feel like there's
Remember
definitely.
I talked about this the other day.
Yeah,
I
you
deleted
mentioned
Instagram.
it.
It
wasn't healthy.
Social media doesn't help. It makes things
doesn't
worse.
at all.
Even for people
doesn't
that
work.
are not that don't have any mental problems. Social media even makes life.
really-
Social media
It
is like
pressures
crack
people.
epidemic.
You know, you see people
Social media
wake
is like
up.
crack epidemic.
Yeah, you know, and then social media is like you see a couple that finish fighting, hitting each other, but then
Yeah.
they're
People
able to
only-
get a picture of when they were
When they're
on some
happy.
island and they post it, and then you see gold. Everybody,
only see
and
the
then
good.
people, and then
That's the
people
problem.
that are even in better relationships start feeling pressured. Same thing with life. You see people that you think, hey, this guy has a Mercedes, this guy has a this, I don't have that. You feel, oh, this guy's in the club popping bottles, but you don't know what happened before that. You don't know what happened after that.
Social media.
So social
always-
media, you know, same thing with weight. People like, and I think that always affects a lot of girls. Even same thing with
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
marriage.
All
you
these
know,
girls. Yeah.
women. It's you know, they it's like, wow, you're here, you don't have you're single, you're 29,
you, man,
but then
it
every girl
is.
you know is posting
Social
a ring,
media
with
validation is
baby.
like a
Yeah, so
drug.
some people need
It's
that
like a
validation
drug,
for
man.
social media, and it's like at the end of the day, it doesn't help because if you let that get into you, you think your life is worse off. Look, we're all running different races.
Yep.
We're all
That's
going
right.
different directions. I don't
That's
have
right.
to what
you
you
don't know what the
achieved
girl
at
that posted
29.
a ring is doing through
What
at
you achieved
home.
at 29, I might achieve at 35 and achieve better.
And you
Do
don't
you understand
know.
what I'm saying? Yeah. We don't have to achieve the same thing at 29.
Would you believe? Like I heard some people would buy their own ring
Yeah.
and post it.
Oh,
Yes, people bought themselves
There-
gifts.
Don't you see?
There was another one
there's-
I saw that apparently they've seen an upsurge in people buying all these luxury goods,
Yeah, to
posting
return
with
it.
And return
then
it.
Duh!
returning it.
Don't you hear about the private jet company that does the photo shoots?
Yeah, you
They
can go
pay
inside, you can take
pay them
pictures.
$100 or
But you-
whatever.
like
Just
I've
take
heard,
pictures.
I've heard people who would when you're boarding the plane,
Yeah.
you quickly snap, or when you're leaving at first class, and like, but you see, it's you get validation from it.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, but that validation is short lived. You know, and I was recently in the South Atlanta for a friend's wedding, and while we were all getting, I was a groomsman. While we were all getting dressed and everything, one of his dad's friends or uncles or whatever came into the room, and he said something that stuck to me. He said, "Dude, all these guys that flew, some people flew from Nigeria, everybody that flew out around the world just for this occasion next to you. That by tomorrow you're going to be by yourself.
Oh yeah.
That these boys are here to support you today." But
But
tomorrow they're going
They're
back to their
home,
lives,
right? You're by yourself,
and it's just you and
It's
your
just
wife.
you.
It's the two of you guys,
Yeah.
and that's where people don't always realize.
realize.
So when you're doing things for likes, these people that are liking, these girls that are liking your things, these guys that are liking your things, when you need help, they're not there.
at all,
When you
You're there
fall,
by
they are
yourself
there to laugh at
to
you.
laugh at you. Exactly.
You know, there's a joke that one of my friends and I used to have. Like, this guy, when did you gonna do Yahoo? And I used to tell that guy, the day I do Yahoo and they catch me and put on Insta blog, you'll be the first person to comment. I knew it. That these are these boys doing it. I used to be laughing, and that's life. Do you understand? But like, people do these things for validation. They're not there for you. You're the only person that matters. You know, so
That's true.
yeah, but
It's
people
true.
forget that.
People forget that
People
you're
forget
by
that.
yourself.
You're
and
by
that's it.
yourself.
Even family, they'll be there, but
Yeah,
at
family,
the end of
everybody
the
has
day-
their own life to
right,
live.
They have your own life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
But we should probably just. I don't want to stay on this because it can be very depressing. Just even.
And it's a very
Thinking
long.
about the
It
effect
can't be
of-
fixed and
Yeah.
all at once.
But we did bring up social media, so I want to bring up this new trend I've been seeing of Santorini, Greece, man.
Yes.
Oh,
What's-
God.
what's
first
up
of all,
with this
I
place?
want to go there to just go and pour red paint all over the place. Just red paint, just sprinkle it. I'm like, you know what? Let's see who's gonna come back here. I didn't know about Santorini before until social media.
Even
It's
Floyd
in
May
Greece.
was there recently.
It's in Greece.
Floyd May was posting up some 30
but
pictures.
it tells you how much social media plays a part in it. It's like
Yeah.
people want to go there. People feel like, you see people saying, "Man, I can't wait to like I make it and go." You don't have like, why someone else's vacation is like you're looking at it like, "Man, I'm not up to par." People are out there flying to Santorini and I can't afford it. Don't think about it that way, man. You don't even know how they got there. You don't even know what some of these people did to get there.
Right?
You don't
So
know.
that's the new vacation spot.
But that's the
now
new
or
vacation
something?
spot.
So,
But people have been going there forever.
People have been going there, so
though.
everybody has even gone there now posting their throwback pictures.
No,
I've been there.
but then I think Taiwo has some insight on this. Taiwo, I beg,
What
can you
happened?
chime in? Because he was telling me about how
Right.
apparently
You know
some.
Santorini-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, go on. No, go on, Corey. Sorry.
No, you remember
No,
you were telling me
Santorini
about
thing,
how Santorini
Is
apparently
it Santorini or Santorini?
Santorini.
Rini, okay, my bad if I said Santorini.
Santorini.
So
No,
Santorini.
No, Santorini.
You know me, I'm from Ibadan. I don't
R-I-N.
know this I had to Google it. Where's this
Santorini in Greece.
No,
Go on.
he was telling me about how I guess because Dublin is only like 2 hours from there, right?
place? Oh, plane ticket is like £50.
Yeah, it's like 2 or 3, like around that anyway.
Yeah, and apparently like everybody in Dublin, like
been
that's
there.
like the move now.
No, everyone in Dublin and London went to Santorini this summer.
Well, you know, traveling in Europe is cheap. Man.
It's
You can
cheaper
travel around
anyway.
Europe for like
It's
$200.
ridiculous. But that's the thing people don't understand. I
Yeah.
think maybe because America is far from
It's
Greece.
far, yeah.
Number one, the reason why this place became a hotspot is because Greece went to Greece literally the economy crashed.
Right. So they
I
put
see.
up the
It was gone.
tourism.
It was gone, zero, done.
Yeah.
So it was a cheap option for people to travel to Greece. That's what Santorini thing became. You know, that's why because I know these things obviously maybe because I'm just into all this politics and all this kind of stuff. The whole thing was to boost Greece's tourism industries.
Okay.
Start, promoting all this Greece as a tourist hotspot, and because it was so cheap, because labor is so cheap there, because
Everybody was going there.
the economy was non-existent at that time. People started going there as a destination. It no longer it used to be Marbella. It was where people used to go as a hotspot, and the party people go to Ibiza. Then it became Santorini, and everybody went there. But because loads of people went there, now became what they call it supply. Supply demand, the way it works on the economy.
They put out a
That's what
article.
That's what happened with Santorini. I just feel it's just so weird, and I think Yates was the one that pointed out. I don't want to go to where everybody's going.
No,
to.
same here.
Same here, man. That would be my worst idea.
If you go there now, it's gonna be full of.
But that's the thing. A lot of people are going there.
Bunch of Nigerian people there.
Yeah, that's the thing. They're going there so they can post it.
Christmas time.
Yeah, they can go. They're going there so they can post it at myself. I'm living La Vida Loca. I've been to Santorini, but they put an
Nigeria.
hold on.
If you had to pick a vacation spot,
I can't
now,
tell
so
anybody,
where would you
man.
go?
I can't say it.
I have no way I want to go. I want to go to Bali and I want to go to Fiji.
Bali. Where is Bali again?
Bali is
Indonesia.
Indonesia now.
Indonesia.
Asia.
Oh yes,
Bali too.
that's
Bali
where
too, Santorini 2.5.
these guys now. Russell Simmons is hiding out.
Oh really? Are you serious? You know they're really Buddhist and he's a
hold on.
Buddhist, so that's probably what he's
So
doing.
wait, before we finish Santorini, they put out an article about how they've limited the weight
gosh.
for people who can ride the horses out
apparently-
there because
apparently-
They're killing the poor horses.
No, they were having like
They-
spine issues.
Yeah, spine issues. So they've
So they're like
limited.
no more overweight
Oh
people.
yes, they've limited the weight. Like your niggas, it's not his
Like,
place.
these
Are you
niggas have,
serious?
they want to come and ruin this place
Come
for
and
us.
spoil it for us. So
Pretty soon, watch. They're gonna start banning and making it harder to get
Yeah,
visas to
probably.
get to
Yeah,
Santorini
probably.
from Nigeria.
but you see,
and
but
other
that's social
places.
media effect. Everybody wants to go there. Everybody's talking
Yeah.
about it.
Wow.
People
I mean, it's
that
a
went-
beautiful
So-
place.
so I guess
I've
it's
always
like the
wanted to
new
go as
Dubai
a
in a
high
sense.
school.
That's like new
Because
Dubai.
Dubai used
No,
to
it
have
can't be
that.
like the new
Gucci.
Dubai.
Santorini is the Gucci of vacation. Put it that way.
It's the Gucci vacation.
The way everyone like.
So you
Gucci.
brought up Bali, right? That was what I remembered, and it wasn't Taiwan. That it was another podcast I was listening to. Apparently, Bali is where. Taiwan, are you still there?
Is this is
Don't worry. No. He's it's don't worry. No, yeah. It's reconnecting. He'll come back on. But apparently, Bali is where.
Did he cut off?
Yeah, can you call him back?
So yeah, wrap that up.
But apparently, Bali. Well, we're gonna wrap this up very soon. We're gonna go on a break after this. Yeah, he's calling. Taiwan, are you there?
Sorry,
Ah,
Okay.
yeah, it's cool. So, but they were telling me apparently, if you go to Bali right now, right, you're gonna find a ton of black girls there.
Yeah, no.
A
All
ton.
those,
Do you know
yeah.
why?
No.
The sexual
What?
tourism thing, Abby.
No, I'm not
surgery?
talking about the no, I'm not even talking about that.
So what is it?
So apparently, that's where a lot of girls stay until they get their next Dubai contract.
Oh, I heard about that. Who was
Yes.
talking about
So
it the other
chill
day?
there.
Somebody was talking about it.
It's
Oh,
full
it was
So it's cheap.
It was
yes,
and it was
okay.
cheap to
Yeah,
stay
yeah.
there, huh?
That's true. Yeah. Until they get their
Because-
sex
And then
con-
Dubai is not
contract.
that far
until they get
from
their
there.
next sex contract.
contract. I heard about that.
Yo, apparently
oh,
people
shit.
be those Dubai guys.
Saudi men,
They
man.
be they have like all these weird.
Fetishes.
There's
There was
a
this one girl
page.
that came to talk about it on one podcast I was listening to. Apparently, they have like contracts where
Yes.
they'll do. Okay, we're gonna shit on
We're gonna
you.
we're gonna pee on you.
We're gonna pee.
There's a page
and
I
they'll-
found.
Once you sign the contract,
Yeah,
they'll
I found a
send you-
page on
they
Instagram
have-
somewhere where somebody was like, it's I forget, was it like called Tag the Sponsor or something like that? But someone showed me that a few years ago. Like it was this guys that were going they were trying. I mean, they seem like haters, but they were trying to expose some of these girls, and like they
Mm-hmm.
would go into the DM as like a Saudi prince, like his profile have like all the Saudi things and stuff like that. And some of these girls were like, yeah, they just DM the guy and say, hey, I'll fly you and your girl. I'll give you guys 10 stacks, but you know, we need to. There's a word for it.
Yeah.
We need to shit on you. We need
Yeah,
to.
yeah.
Some of them was like, my horse would have sex with you and stuff like that. And these girls are like, sure.
For money.
For money.
Yo,
10K.
this one girl that I was talking about, they offered her 50 grand.
Yeah, I
10,
And
remember.
apparently
I
there was
heard
a
Yeah.
whole list of things.
stuff she has to do.
And I think the reason why she was, because she wasn't sure if it was real or fake, and she was scared that someone would put out the
Yeah.
so
There
she was
that
like,
too. A lot of people didn't think of
but yeah, and she was talking about how the request came at a time when she was going through some financial struggle. So turning down that 50 grand, man, was hard for her. But apparently, that's what these Arab princes.
yeah,
they
it's
just-
always been a thing.
there's a
It's
ton
just
of-
now
there's a
social
ton
media
of
is making it
girls
more known now.
at like Airbnbs in Bali because it's supposed to be cheaper, and they're just waiting for when their next contract is up, and
Wow.
and they get flown back to Dubai because it's so far. They don't want to have to be going back and forth across. I just thought it was interesting, man.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy, man. But we're about to go on our next break, man. Taiwo, I don't know if there's anything else you wanted to add.
No, thanks for having me on. It was
Thanks
great.
for coming on,
As I
man.
said,
Thanks for talking about your depression. Thank you so much. We appreciate it.
We really do, and I feel like
I'm sure it's not easy.
I think
but
it's important for more people to speak out, and so that at least we start coming up with ways that we can address the situation, especially within our African communities, because I feel like there's still so many people that are probably lost and they're not getting any help. So when people like you come out and speak about it, I
don't
find
be
it very
ashamed,
brave.
please, people. If you're having any issues, talk to someone. Even if it's your primary care doctor, they'll know how to refer you to a psychiatrist or something.
Yeah.
It's nothing to be ashamed of.
Absolutely nothing to be ashamed of. And from a Nigerian perspective, I think it's very important to highlight that there's just so much of a stigma around there.
Mhm.
Suicide is a crime in Nigeria. So if you attend suicide,
Is
you
it?
survive, you
It's a
actually
crime?
go to jail.
It's a crime.
Are you serious?
If you know here, Nigerian police, if you want to commit suicide, say if you jump, I'll kill you.
Wow.
That's what they tell
If
you.
you attend suicide in Nigeria and they arrest and
Yeah,
you
yeah.
survive, they will arrest
What?
you.
Yeah, there was a guy. They jumped into the ocean. They got him, and the police.
So instead of them to give him
Yeah,
help
I
that he
remember that.
needed, they arrested him and punished
They
him even
jumped from
more.
Third Mainland Bridge. I mean, yeah.
Are you serious? This is my first time hearing about this.
Yeah.
Actually,
Wow.
right, so there's something obviously something that we're trying to work with people to try and obviously
Yeah.
it shouldn't be a crime. It's ridiculous.
No,
But,
that's
yeah,
ridiculous.
so-
A lot of things
I mean,
shouldn't be
if it's a
crimes
crime,
in that
it's a-
country.
yeah,
But
exactly. If it's a crime in Nigeria, obviously it's going to be a stigma in the society because
Yeah.
crime, it fits the other. So I think that's where this whole thing develops as a country where we have the stigma as a people, as Africans, where we have the stigma against depression and things like that because you feel like you're committing a crime on top of that as well. So. It's great to talk about it anyway. And look, I'm not in any way 100% at all. It's a day-to-day process, and that's one of the things I have to even learn to acknowledge myself. I'm not. You don't. It's not a miracle that I'm ill now and I'm perfect.
Yeah.
It's something. Acknowledging it is what you. Acknowledging it is the fact that you have it is
Yeah.
what makes you better.
it's the
It's
first
that's
step.
the main thing you have to do, and because it's not going to be something that will ever. It might go away in small doses, and you might have extended periods of light, as I call it, but it's still something that's going to be there. So, thanks a lot for having me on. Anyway, and I'm
Thanks for
always
coming on.
Thanks for coming.
And we hope to have you back on again, man.
Yes.
We hope to have you back on
Absolutely.
another time.
And we wish
know.
you continued
Great stuff.
success in your
Great.
therapy.
Yeah,
and
send my
everything.
greetings to Kenny, and send my greetings to the rest of the fam.
Absolutely.
All right, and to mommy and daddy
Nice
too,
one,
please.
guys.
All right, bro.
Bye.
Take it.
All right.
Cut off. We're
So
about to
what
go on a
about
break now.
Music break, yeah.
Wale, what do you have for us?
So I want to stop playing mainstream music
Okay.
because I feel like we're giving people that already have shine. I think we should start pushing people who are up and coming.
I
So
feel you.
I mean, it doesn't mean you won't still hear Whiskey though, but for the
You
most
like
part,
that fever? I like that
I
fever.
love
joint.
both tracks, man. And I'm so mad I wasn't able to make a show.
Yeah, I couldn't
trying
make
to
that
call
show.
the prices they were calling for those tables.
You saw he
were
sold out
crazy. Then they
some
sold it
show
out.
in Minnesota too.
Yeah, and
right?
they gave him a Whiskey day. But
Yeah.
no worries, Sha.
Yeah.
Anyways, so this song, I discovered this song like a few weeks ago. It's by a guy called David Meli, and it's called Bonjour.
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 All right.
Enjoy.
go gaga. Shebi I been there, you say all you go take my time. I'm a shady grind on the bed. You say I been waste my time. Oh. Even in a try to love you, me down, who want you? You know me, they see when I dey hustle. I'm on the blessings when they come. Talk, they always say they love you. French girls, they are telling me, bonjour. I want them, we do anything we want to. Babele, me, I go show you kung fu. Show you kung fu, they always want to for you. What's up? Say they are on the darling things. I meet me on my balling things. I go to kill them with quality. Every jam and the drop that they join me sing. Me, I'm all about my dollar. And if you know they speak in pounds, I'll see you later. Hey, hey. Catch me moving to the rubber. I be coming up with the boys, say Kaingawa. I say they love you, hold me down, who want you? You know me, they see when I dey hustle. I'm on the blessings when they come. Talk, they always say they love you. French girls, they are telling me, bonjour. I want them, we do anything we want to. Babele, me, I go show you kung fu. Show you kung fu, they always want to for you. What's up? Catch me in the VIP. I be chilling with the girl, whether melanin or white tea. Everybody know we bad, so they wanna be on my team. Many people been they talk, challenge know they kill my dream. Even in a try they love you, hold me down, who want you? You know me, they see when I dey hustle. I'm on the blessings when they come. Talk, they always say they love you. French girls, they are telling me, bonjour. I want them, we do anything we want to. Babele, me, I go show you kung fu. Show you kung fu, they always want to for you. What's up? What's up? I'm on a different kind of way.
Bonjour.
Welcome back.
Bonjour.
Hey,
Who was that again?
There's some guy called David Meli.
David Meli.
Yeah, David Meli.
Hails from where?
Niger now.
Niger. No, I know now, but like, is he based in Niger or?
Yeah, he's based in Nigeria.
Okay.
I don't have much research on him.
That's fine.
how did you hear about the song?
I mean, I have my ways.
Wally, please.
But this
How
song
did
came
you-
out in like the video came out in like August. So
It's a
not
nice
new.
jam.
Oh,
It's a nice jam.
I have like a playlist of like, no, I just call it Tungba music. Like that's the non-Tungba music. Just when you just want to chill. So like, it's one of the guys under my playlist. Yeah.
Oh, and by the way, just as a reminder, we do have a playlist on Spotify. We're gonna create another one on iTunes too. But go for all these songs. You find all these songs on there.
Quick shout out.
It's called Smiling Suffer podcast playlist.
Jay's album is amazing. You should listen to it. And this guy just dropped an album with Dunsi.
Oh, he did?
Oh.
I was going to
really?
pick one of the songs for it, but I think I'll do that next time. Yeah.
Okay.
We're
gonna get
another
into
guy called Ladipo. You guys should also check out.
Ladipo. Yeah.
His-
Ladipo has been.
yeah.
Isn't he signed under Don Jazzy?
Yeah, his album too sweet.
Yeah. I think he was started out in the US too before he moved back there.
Probably, I don't know.
But we're gonna get into our Niger update, man. So recent Niger updates. Let's start with this presidential election.
Oh, God.
And we need to have
It's a madhouse.
We need to have Dr. Jimo back on one of these days to really do a deep dive for us. But it seems PDP has picked their presidential nominee,
Who is?
Atiku,
Oh, okay.
who used to be
I saw the
ex,
memes.
who used to be the ex-president.
He's picked his running mate too, by the way.
He's picked his running mate, some Igbo guy.
Former governor.
Peter Obi.
I forget what state.
Is the guy like a comedian? I saw one video of him where he was like he looked like a comedian. Like he, for like a good 5 minutes, he was just making
cracking
the
jokes.
cracking
Former
jokes.
governor of Anambra State.
Anambra.
Between
So what were you going to say about Atiku? He was the former what?
oh,
He was the
wait. Oh, he was impeached actually.
He was impeached.
And then his impeachment was overturned.
Who? The Obi guy?
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is
For what?
interesting.
The running mate.
I should have done research on this.
So what were you
He
going to
was-
say about Atiku?
Atiku was the former VP to
Back in-
Obasanjo,
Oh, okay.
It was.
Yeah.
it
Oh,
was,
right. That's true.
and his pockets are long.
Of course, aren't they all?
Like
Yes.
this guy,
Super long.
they say he did a number on like when he was in office.
So this
Wasn't
is
he the
who
one
we
that
want.
wasn't he the one that
All
said he was
allegedly.
getting a percentage of every like generator that was coming to Nigeria at the time?
And this
I'd
is
heard
who
something
we
like
want
that.
to run our government.
I mean, the fact that OBJ was alarmed at initially back.
Oh, he was?
No. So not now, but there was like previous election cycles when they said Atiku wants to run. OBJ was like, "Huh, that guy."
I know, but now OBJ is next to
If
him.
OBJ is the one
They're
saying,
saying
that
that
guy,
guy, yeah.
you know this guy must have. So they say he allegedly just bought out the nomination. He bought out the nomination. Saraki didn't even come close.
So he lost.
I think Saraki was like
Sarko was
third
third.
or so.
Wow.
He didn't even come close. They said he just. I mean, they said this guy has a war chest. And my dad is back from Niger, so I've been kind of getting my.
But I think I've been
gist from
skimming
him.
this for a long time though. He's
Yeah,
been trying to do this. He's been trying to get there. He just posted a picture with Davido. And all the youths are going to stupidly follow.
Right now, I'm still riding with Buhari until someone sensible.
I think
comes
it's not the
along.
man.
Yeah,
Saraki
For
is not
me-
the man.
For me,
But-
I know Buhari. There are a lot of things he can work on, but at least I know that there's something about Buhari and his integrity that
But
I just
I think he's going to give him a run for his money unless Buhari rigs the election. Because young people, I don't know why, like
they hate Buhari.
they love it. Like this is social media, man. It's so easy to like
Sway
to
people.
just sway people, man. Like it's seeing people.
So what has Atiku done that will get
Nothing.
them?
No.
So
But
just because
his
he's
social
posing
media
with
team.
Davido and all them
No,
people,
but that's the thing. Like he's getting the video on a picture with him. His social media team
it's
is
working.
it's working. Those guys don't sleep. I didn't we talk about them before. They don't sleep. Oh.
Wow.
I was also gonna give an
They're
update.
reaching the right set of people.
Yeah.
And
They're
that's all
making
it
it
takes.
looks like he's for the youth.
And that's all it takes.
And everybody
Not
forgets.
actually work that he's
And
doing.
most of these people forget that man was actually VP under Obasanjo.
Yeah.
Most people forget that. They said he can't even come to the US.
Are you serious?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Why
there's
not?
supposedly a pending case, even though the US is
Are
a
you
case.
serious?
But everyone's like,
Yeah.
I just traveled.
And that's
to
who
the
we want to
US.
make the
That's who
president.
they want.
Apparently,
The president,
so
yeah.
OBJ is actually. I saw some other link where OBJ is trying to appeal to the U.S. government
Yeah.
to kind of fix that.
What
And
was the
then,
issue? Do we know?
I don't know.
It's probably money laundering.
But
related to
people,
money
but you
Wow.
see people
allegedly.
who.
Let me just keep saying allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly.
I
yeah.
still want to go to Niger,
Yes,
and I
allegedly.
don't want to get arrested.
See, the thing is, like, people, and then you see a lot of tweets of people who, like, years ago were, like, laughing and saying no to Atiku, he's this, is that, and then today they're like, yes, Atiku is
So
the
that
next
means they've
president.
been settled.
Not settled, but, like, it just shows you how easy they've been swayed,
Swayed.
you know, so.
So I was gonna give an update on the Lagos gubernatorial elections too. We talked about it
primary,
last time.
yeah.
Well, not last time. Last time you were here.
How
And basically,
what's his face was primaried?
yeah, he was primaried out, man. Like
Jesus
Ashiwaju is a
Christ.
boss, man. Like let's just
He is.
let's just give
They
it
didn't
up.
That's
want-
terrible.
They didn't want
Dude, you had people standing in front of the Did you see that video in front of the election poll
saying
saying,
you can't
"Look,
vote for.
Are you serious?
yes,
So they
Can't
were
vote for
bullied
anybody,
into.
yeah.
oh, you know, people were
Well, it's
bullied."
Nigeria now, so
It's
nothing
a
surprises
different
me.
it's
so
a different
sad.
type of game out there, man. So yeah, he got primaried out. So Sanwo-Olu is now the nominee. He'll be going against Jimmy Agbaje.
And those votes were like crazy.
Yeah.
Like the numbers didn't even make sense.
Yeah, but to be fair though, they did say that it wasn't because before, what's their name? APC. They used to do like they would just pick their nominee and put them out. This time they actually had people vote.
Yeah,
Even though
but
I'm sure
they rigged
votes
the
were
votes, yeah.
suppressed.
Yeah.
But there was overwhelming support for this strong
And because Tinubu said support him.
yes. Yes. So what I'm just trying to say is that the process was at least democratic to an
Yeah,
extent.
to an extent.
And
You can vote as long as you're voting for someone.
yeah.
that's,
I guess.
that's just what it was.
I guess
I don't know about Jimmy Agbaje. He ran the last time, so
I am not one of them.
I'm not one of them.
That
I
was
love
his
that's
slogan.
I love that picture.
That was his slogan.
Campaign ad. I'm not one
Back
of
then,
them.
right? When I used to talk to girls,
And
right?
they will say something. Just send the picture.
I'll
I'm not
just
one
send
of
that
them.
picture.
Say I'm not one of them.
Like so when they start
Anything.
when they start the whole
Yoruba boys like this.
demon,
I'm not one of
Yoruba-
them.
just post it.
That
I
was
am-
the
I am
funny-
not one of them.
I'm not one of them. But we'll see how it goes.
Yeah. So what else about Niger? Oh, Michael and Angela.
I don't know if I wanna keep
90
watching
Day
that show.
Fiancé updates.
gosh.
Yeah, did you guys?
I don't know if I
see
want
what
to keep
happened
watching that show.
recently?
It's the finale. I'll watch it since I've gone this far.
So where we left off was, I think they were fighting about. I think Michael had already called. Michael had. They went to go and shop for
Drink.
but what he called her
Asho.
fat.
They went and shop for
Ashwebi.
dresses, yeah. And
He called her fat.
and he called her fat, and she got mad.
Oh, and she
And, you
slapped
know,
him or something, right?
Yeah.
They've had a lot of back and forth. They've made up. There was another thing that happened too.
But
where
I think the producers are and I'm disappointed in Michael if what I think is true. I think they're playing this whole Nigerian scammer thing because like there's a money issue obviously where she says $900, $600 missing from my account.
oh,
So basically she said,
Are you serious?
When they went out, she was like, "Oh, the ATMs in Nigeria are kind of confusing," which I understand. It's a different currency, you might not know. So she was like, she gave Michael her card
Yeah.
to remove $300, and there were 3 charges of $300.
Oh no.
Now that could have been
That might have been a
ATM.
mistake
That could
now.
have been so Michael. So when she called Mike, in fact, the episode was she didn't even call Michael because he didn't pick up. She called the producers who gave him the phone. Michael said it's a bank thing. She was like, "No, it's not a bank thing. This that." But then there's a clip of like their final episode is like they're all back in the country and they're like Skype calling the
Yes.
people, and Michael did say sorry for taking the money.
he
So
did.
it did. There's a clip I saw that he said sorry. So I believe the producers are just playing this whole
Naija
Naija
scam.
scam thing.
But then you missed one part where they said apparently she gave him. She told him. Remember that clip where she told him he was gonna come to the US.
Yeah,
she
he gave her a
ring.
ring.
Yeah,
She
he
gave
gave
it
her
was
a
after
ring.
she came back.
So
that she had problems.
So we didn't. You see, we missed that part.
oh
We
yeah,
didn't
so they
give them
gave
that.
each other
Yeah,
rings.
yeah,
now.
They gave each other a ring.
It was supposed to be like a
They-
done
even
deal.
the-
Like, yeah.
Everyone was happy for
Yeah,
them. Social
yeah.
media was like,
Okay, so this was they didn't they weren't happy at the point. So he took her to a beach resort and
in Niger.
in Niger, and I like the dates Michael took Angela, and I think he did a good job with that. You know, for I judged him for who he is, but he actually took her to some decent.
He put in
places.
some work.
They put in some work. Obviously it might have been on her dime. You
Yeah.
know, but so there was a resort, and then she said she went through his phone. And she saw like he follows like over 1,000 girls on Instagram. And she was already complaining about that. Secondly, she said Michael, while they were talking before she came, Michael confessed to a girl giving him BJ.
Oh God.
And he said
Before
the
she came to
excuse-
America.
yeah, before she came to
Nigeria.
Nigeria. And he said
Michael,
that-
what are you doing?
He said that
Secure the bag.
the reason for
You're
it
a
was
bad
because
demon.
he gave her a ride and she paid back giving him BJ.
Are you serious?
So
because he's an Uber driver.
I think so, something like that. So she then it was funny because they were asking him about it, and Michael was like, "She's right. I did the BJ," and I thought that was so funny. But I think also he said some things like he was pressurized to just say that because he always doesn't want to fight with her. So they had that. They fought in the resort, blah blah. They made up and stuff like that, and then involved like her daughter. They just made up, and eventually she gave him a ring, and she gave him an American flag.
yeah, and put the ring in the
I
middle.
put the ring, yeah. And he was like blushing, and he was like, "Donald Trump, I'm coming to see you," But she gave him a ring, and he also gave her a ring after, and they left. And like sometimes I feel like Michael does genuinely like her, but then also I feel like maybe
Yeah,
because
sometimes I'm like,
my
okay.
babe,
But
this,
then
that,
there's
that.
other times,
He's a kidney now. He's trying to get his
But,
way to America.
yeah.
Do whatever he has to do.
But
But
then-
he's put in his work too.
But
now.
then she's now back in America, so this is going to be their clips.
So she's back in
She's
America.
back in America.
Did you see the last clip I sent you guys?
Yes,
Basically,
it was.
Yeah,
she
yeah.
ended.
Yeah,
it.
that is part of.
Yeah.
Is in that same session that somebody I saw another clip of that. So that's coming out on Sunday. That she spoke about the money too again, and
Yes.
he said, "I'm sorry." Now I don't know if it's that the way they edited it that maybe he was saying I'm sorry for something else, but the edit I saw was she spoke about why did you take the money, and then he said I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But in this clip, he called her as an elder.
An elder.
Oh,
But you see, but that's just in Niger thing.
But
I thought that was
and
like,
this is why I'm
because
saying
in Niger,
Well, yeah,
Yeah,
you're
you
older.
say, but-
she's my elder.
yeah, but this
Yeah,
is why
yeah.
I'm saying that the producers are playing
But-
to it because
but
when she was
she-
leaving, she was like, when they were saying come back, she's like, don't fucking tell me to come back. I'm old. I'm 52. So I'm like, okay, so you keep mentioning your age. So when he now says you're an elder, why are you not getting upset?
But if you're dating somebody, you wouldn't call
She
your
not bad.
partner.
But you see,
your
that was a
elder, so-
language barrier
Oh,
thing.
correct.
In Niger,
Correct.
in
Correct.
Niger,
Even if you're older than your girl or whatever, would you say I'm as your elder?
yeah, but that's me. But that's because I've been exposed to a different type of culture.
I
In
guess.
Niger, that's how people talk. She's my elder now. But you see, in America, calling someone an elder,
Is-
an
yeah.
elderly, that's
Yeah.
like
It's
you're
a
really
thing.
throwing
Yeah,
shade.
yeah.
I don't think he was necessarily he meant it that
right,
way. I think he was just
right.
trying to say
Well,
you're older
there's
than me.
a
So I felt like
language
that
barrier
might have
thing,
been
yeah.
a language barrier thing, which is unfortunate. But
So she got upset at the elder
well,
comment.
you didn't see, she
She
walked
got
out.
upset. She
stormed out.
walked out. She said, she called him a bastard.
She
Said,
she
I ain't
stormed
coming
out.
back.
So
but-
yeah,
So that's it. They're done.
it's looking like it, unless there's another twist.
And well, we'll see the
finale-
update
They
at
always
the end.
twist
now.
now. There's
The
always gonna
finale,
be
we'll
twist.
see the final thought and see what happens.
Look, that she
But-
mauled him in a. I watched this woman maul this guy
Yeah.
in a hotel.
But I think it'll be bad. Yeah.
Call him, please.
Even before she left, she was like, "Oh, should we have a quickie real quick?" And she
Are you
started
serious?
with that awkward
he was
laugh.
putting
like,
in work. He was putting in
Put in
work.
it, he was getting sex too. You're talking about he was doing it for free. Wasn't he getting enjoyment too? I beg.
I don't know.
Please.
I don't know.
You don't know.
I don't know if that. I
Really?
would consider that as an enjoyment.
What
Me
is it?
personally.
Didn't he orgasm? I mean, did he
Me
not?
personally.
So please, anyway.
But anyways, before we go on to that, we have a very short period left. But I want to talk about this recent thing, and this is for our thread etiquette segment, right? And I probably put this because of Wale. 'Cause I knew I was gonna piss Wale off.
What?
But some people came out recently, right?
Oh God.
And they had like some kind of event or something, and the whole event basically they said they were gonna start calling women Wimixin.
What?
Wimixin. WOMXN. Wimixin.
Why?
You know what that means?
Took them long enough.
Why?
So
though?
because with the women, right? Women has men in it,
Yeah, that's why I
Okay.
said
and
took
men
them long
signifies the male patriarchy.
enough.
Okay.
And they don't want to adopt the male patriarchy again. And they said Wimixin will be inclusive
To whom?
for transgender men. Well, for transgender women.
Women. Okay.
And that way, everyone will just be able to use Wimixin. And that way, they will avoid.
I'm so confused right now.
Look, it was on
Why? Who
BBC.
asked for this? Who asked
I
for
don't know who
this?
picked
Telling you,
them.
man, you guys
Yo,
are letting everybody change
there-
everything they don't like.
There was
asked
a
for
huge,
this?
there was a
Except
huge
racism.
backlash. Even the feminists were like, "What the fuck is this about?" The
So
trans.
wait. Who are these people? Who?
It's some group in the UK that I guess they put together these like it's like supposed to be a progressive group, and they come up with like new concepts of how to like I guess
Society,
counter male patriarchy and all
Okay,
these things.
okay.
So apparently one of the things that they did, like in all their memos and everything, they kept calling women Wimixin,
Okay.
and that was supposed to represent something.
I mean, I guess if they want to, they can, but you can't tell me what to call myself. You know what I mean? Like, you can do whatever
no
you
one
want,
liked
I
it.
guess.
I think this was the first time I saw everybody, including the misogynists and the feminists, they were all on the same page. Like, shut the fuck up.
What?
It's women.
Nobody
women,
asked for this.
Women is women. I think it was just some people.
See,
just
what frustrates me with all
overreach.
this people is there's so many issues women are facing. Can we focus on that and not
I know.
trivial
You
women? Like what?
What?
There's so
give me
many.
an example of issues women are facing.
Really?
And I'm trying to get somewhere.
What are you trying to get
Just
at?
answer.
There's a lot of issues now.
Like,
Wait,
Wait,
where in the Western
Well,
world?
and that's
or-
another thing. Exactly. Nigeria is
I'm talking
different
about
from.
in Nigeria. Go on.
Well, I can't speak on that because I don't. Well, but I would say
If only
the.
we had that girl from
wait,
on the
wait.
couch.
Just
Okay,
wait,
so
wait.
one that I
She'll
do
give us
know.
the same statistics.
The Layla.
One I do
Layla
know is
statistics.
the
Only four.
domestic violence issue. Okay,
So
that's-
how's that being prevented?
I don't know. I don't know. That's what I'm saying. We're not tackling actual issues. We're talking about wimixing. What? Can we
So,
focus on actual issues? Female
actual-
genital
actual-
FGM is there still.
Actual issues like don't open the door for me.
Ah.
What are you talking about?
Actual issues like women and children going off first on the boat is
No, that was
disrespectful
one
to me.
person's speech.
that's actual issues.
What?
Man spreading.
Man spreading.
Okay,
that's
y'all are
actual issues.
just you're reaching right now, but that's not
I'm sorry.
in Nigeria though. You know
Nah,
that,
you
right?
just-
That's
just messing
No,
with
no.
you.
So I
That's
posted.
here.
So I
That's a
posted some. Let me
Western
bring
issue.
to this people.
Nigerian women
So
are
I
facing
posted.
other
So the other
problems.
day I went on I was on a blog site in Nigeria and I saw a speech from Chimamanda, and I just thought to myself, I said, you know what? I never read her books.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not really a book guy, but but I know she's supposedly a brilliant writer. So I'm not one to. I don't know. People who've read it say so I believe. But then I noticed she trends a lot as a mouthpiece for, at least to an extent, for feminists in the movement.
Yeah.
And I was like, only thing I always see is that she gives a lot of speeches. And I asked you guys in the group, I said, outside of speech, has she done anything, that we can quantify and say, this is something Chimamanda has done to improve women's rights or feminism in Nigeria, at least where she's from? Because I feel like with a lot of speeches she gives, it leaves a lot of space for interpretation. I think that's where problems come, because people read it in their own way.
Yeah, but that's her
Chimamanda
view.
is saying this, so and that's when you see people come and say, "Oh, you guys are listening to Chimamanda." But like, I feel like, and I was saying the last time, like I wish I still got her name. I was shouting out a girl who was getting like sanitary pads for like women in poor parts of Nigeria, and I was like, things like that, and I don't think she did it on like a huge budget. She didn't provide for the whole area, but at least for some people. And I'm like, has Chimamanda done? You sent me a link that she says she's going to wear made in Nigeria. I think that's bullshit, no more, because it's easy for me to just wear need something like Taylor Swift and say I'm promoting made in Nigeria.
No, but she actually does. All the designers, the big Nigerian designers,
but
all she
that
wears.
doesn't still. Most of these designers, just so you know, are men. In case you guys don't know that.
But still promoting Nigerian.
Okay, so.
But I guess he's saying it doesn't really.
Yes.
Further the
so that's what I was saying. I was like, and it's not just her. I don't want to seem like I keep reaching her and like, but do any of this mainstream feminist, women do anything groundwork
that we know of?
That we
don't
of.
know. Right.
I mean, but if your speeches are so popular, I think we should also, the same way they put it out there, we should also look at your actions. And I'm not saying
I agree with you.
Speech can motivate people, but we're from a country of followers. We're a country of where people, that's why some people go out there and when they're giving somebody money, they record it, because somebody's saying, okay, there's a trend on social media now where all these blogs and all these people are giving out money to people. It might be a way to bring people in, but somebody started it.
Right.
So it's like we're from a system where some people don't think themselves. They have to see it. So like, I'm wondering, can Chimamanda do better than just give speeches in the Western world, by the way? Because a lot of our speeches are out here.
Yeah. I think she's based here half the time.
Yeah, so but like, and like there was that woman from Fox who came out and said, Chimamanda, you're focusing on the wrong things when there's gender mutilation. And I think she doesn't speak a lot about so much. Like, I feel like she appeases to first world problems.
Because she's based in America.
But she's Nigerian.
Okay.
And she's known as a Nigerian writer, right?
True. Yeah.
The name is Nigerian.
Right.
I feel like you're focused on telling Hillary what to put in her bio rather than telling Hillary what to do for women in, use that
I can't
platform.
argue with that.
That's my only take on it. I don't have a problem with her, but like, I'm like, I feel like, and
I see your point.
That's where problem comes, and people always look at this new age, because I feel like she's saying things that some of these, you're not relating to some of these people, and some of these people misinterpret or, they come up with their own conclusion of what she's saying. But I feel like if they see her do stuff,
I
people
agree.
will follow.
Your actions speak louder than
I
your
don't
words.
like same thing with that Layla girl. I don't know Layla from any. I don't know what Layla has done. She might have done things, but it's easier for you to sit on the couch and be telling somebody statistics.
That's true.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Agree, yeah.
That's my take on it.
That's a bar right there.
So
yeah, I have nothing to counter.
So that was the only thing I was thinking about, and I was like, someone should prove me wrong. I don't know.
We don't know anything.
I don't know, So please, I would like to be proven wrong.
Well, I'll look into it,
and I like people
but
to
also,
follow. And men too. It's not only women that need to do stuff, or men too can do stuff.
But I feel like she's a writer. Are we expecting? What are we expecting from her? But to write
I'm not a
like,
feminist, but I'm not. I don't want to say I'm not a feminist.
What other Nigerian Chinua Achebe other than writing books? Okay, I'm just
go on.
Chinua Achebe and Wole Soyinka.
I know Wole Soyinka.
What did they do other than writing books and stuff and just being and vocal? Yeah, she's an activist too. That's what she's doing.
But Wole Soyinka is an activist on the ground in the issues going on in Nigeria.
But he talks. That's all
he's talking about things that people
I even have his book here.
That can relate
my dad
to.
got me one of his books.
Chimamanda talking about issues that relate to women too.
But not
Nigerian
women are not related. Most of these issues are not relatable to. They're related, but let's talk about the masses.
Well,
let's talk. Even some of these masses can't even see your message because they don't have smartphones or social media and stuff like that. I think some of these masses don't care that you talking to Hillary does not benefit their
And
lives.
that's why I'm saying she's here. I feel like if she was based in Nigeria and actually in Nigeria, on the ground in Nigeria, then okay.
Yeah,
but she's in America.
it's like, is it not easier for me? That's what I'm saying. It's easier for me to be here. The way I am talking, I can talk about Nigeria as much as I want. I know I'm not doing anything
You're
in
not doing
Nigeria.
anything about
It's
right.
easier, it's easier for me to sit here at this mic and talk and say no women's right and this and that, but I'm not doing anything about it.
But the same thing you said about Wale Soyinka and Chinua, they're activists.
Wale
She's a
Soyinka is
female-
down there doing
She's
the dirty
a
work
women
too,
activist as well. That's all she is. Well, not that's all, but that's what she's doing. I would like
okay,
her
I'll
to-
even
you know what I mean?
push it
Like,
to Wale Soyinka. All of them, I feel like they should be able to do more.
them too.
I feel like if you're putting yourself as the forefront,
right, you should.
and because what happens, it's a ripple effect.
Right, you're right.
And in this day and age of follow, Chimamanda does something for women. One guy
Somebody
that
else will
wants
do
to
it
get accolades will go and do the same thing.
Right.
Another girl that wants to trend will go and do the same thing. And people
But should
going
we
to
have
keep.
to wait for them to do it? before we do
Unfortunately, she has that impact.
it? Well, true. You're right.
She has that
You're
impact. So when you have that impact, you should be able to lead people into saying, all right, go out there, not
be
just
the
talk.
leader about
And
it,
because
right.
it's like, it's easy, everyone can say, guys, just talking. But when you see me do stuff, you want
But
to
I feel
follow.
like she's more of like those inspirational speakers.
I think
on
so. And I
things.
think I
That's
also,
what
but
she
my only
is.
advice to her is if that's where you want to stay at, tailor a lot of your messages towards the masses in Nigeria. The masses in Nigeria
I feel
don't
like
care
she's
about
both.
open the
She's-
door
she
and
is
stuff like that.
in-
She did bring out something I was talking about men's health, mental
Right.
health, which
Right.
I liked.
Yeah.
Okay, so she does both.
Say,
She's- and she actually
men-
talked about it. She said she's stuck in both worlds. She's an American. She's a American. I guess she lives in America, but she's a Nigerian woman.
Mm-hmm.
Her Nigerian culture is still in her, so that's why she talks about some Nigerian issues.
Yeah.
But I feel like her word is here in America. I think she has a child here. Even
Yeah.
she's
does.
married to a
She
doctor,
does.
so
She does.
I feel like
That's true.
she's more here
Yeah,
than
but see,
Nigeria.
okay, look at
and
her.
I feel like she doesn't pick her audience. She
I
just talks.
Google her name and like Chimamanda Ngozi, whatever,
Uh-huh.
born September, is a Nigerian novelist. It's like
Yeah, she's
it's
a
right
Nigerian
there. She was
citizen.
born in Enugu State,
But she
nationality
came to college in
Nigeria.
America and
she did
she
come to
stayed.
college in Nigeria. She did her colleges here and stayed and everything. I mean, we are all
Same thing as me and you.
and Corey,
right.
all of us. But
We're Nigerians.
if I'm
but-
putting myself as the forefront of a specific issue, I think I should be able to do more than just talk.
It's a fair.
Not
point.
just
fair-
her.
yeah, I
I'm sorry,
agree.
it's her name I'm dropping, but like
no,
It's a
I
fair
agree.
point.
Wale
with you.
Soyinka too. If anybody else who comes out as, I'm like, I see what's that guy that you like, Showere.
Sure. Yes.
He was on the streets
Oh, yes.
fighting for someone. Do you understand? Yeah, that's what I
agree
want.
with
Do you understand what I'm saying?
I
Yeah.
see your point.
Yeah, but anyways, that's
at
that.
this point,
Yeah.
All right, but we gotta
what it
wrap up
is.
the show. Before I go, I hope you guys enjoyed the show. As usual, please follow us on all platforms, social media, all social media platforms, Instagram, smiling_suffer, YouTube. Please subscribe. You don't understand how important it is. We need to get those
Please
subscribers.
Subscribe,
Comment, like whatever.
even if it's a bad like.
Yes.
It still counts.
Yeah, but please, if you can, don't put any bad like. But we're on Twitter too. We're on Twitter at Smiling Pod. Follow us. We're on the Apple streaming service, so you can search for our podcast there. Just search for Smiling Suffer Podcast. We're going to be on Spotify soon, and we do have playlists on Spotify called Smiling Suffer Podcast Playlist. Check it out. And I think that's it for today. There was something else I wanted to bring up. Yeti, can you bring your phone? There was that stuff that there was something else that I was gonna.
The fights.
Oh yeah, I mean, no. I remember. Yeah. So Wale, are you gonna explain the blouse that you wore?
My shirt,
Yeah,
my swag.
and the game is the game.
I mean, he's
Look, at
feeling
some
himself
point-
now.
Why you guys
doing his
Cheech,
Migos deal?
Look,
Cheech,
look
let
at what
me
he's
show
even
you.
wearing today.
Cheech,
Like
let
he's
me show
wearing
you.
roses.
Look
It's
at
cute
Cheech,
though.
Look
I
at the
like
picture you're
it.
hating on, man.
I don't.
Isn't that
think-
swag
It's a
right
cute
there, man?
picture.
He got a blouse on.
Look at
That's
that.
what he
Look
got
at
on.
that
So what's
picture,
wrong with
man.
that?
Look at that swag.
Good,
right
Jerry.
there.
I'm supporting
Look
you.
at
It's
that.
a cute.
This
picture
dude
of
had-
cleavage.
he had his male
I was
cleavage.
in the South, and it was
I was
warm,
doing,
and
like-
it was nice, and I was like, I have this. I don't get to wear this shirt here sometimes.
Is that why you had to expose your cleavage?
Yeah, check here, man. You know that I
And
started
let him.
I started a weight loss program.
So he's showing off.
You guys, once I see
Alright,
2 packs
go
like
Wale.
this, once I see 2, just 2, you guys are in trouble.
Go ahead,
All
Jerry.
right, thanks for joining
Ain't
us,
no
guys.
matter.
We're gonna end it with Fela. So, all right, enjoy. If you know, you know. Thanks for supporting.
Bye, guys.
I I say, I sing, I beg everyone to join my song. I say, I sing, I beg everyone to join my song. Teacher,